Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's session of Emoris. Before we begin, follow us on socials, watch Rhyme on Wednesday, and watch Fandover on Sunday. Is everyone ready to jump in?
Let's do
No.
it.
Yee. I mean, I guess.
So, previously on Emoris, the Silver Goats had traveled to Shavanrin after losing Thyra to petrification and a close and quick encounter with the Scorched King. Fleeing the Feywild, you met a new ally in Delphine, who escorted you into the city to meet with General Hannon. And while you were here, you met with her wife, Ziravel, who revealed herself to be Wade's biological mother, and also learned of the location of Kev's body in the High Court. Um, but your reunion was quickly interrupted by an attack by Lady Kyphine and a titanic ice entity who spoke out to the city and pretty much just demanded your heads in exchange for their peace. Um, but you managed to escape their clutches to find Kev. And when you found him, you were attacked by a number of ice elementals that swarmed into the underside, the basement area of the palace. Those were led by Lady Kyphine, who emerged like halfway through the battle. But you decidedly triumphed over them, responsible in part to the freshly resurrected Kev assisting you in the battle with his newfangled and not quite yet understood abilities. Realizing the danger that everyone was in, you attempted to teleport back to Rakrovi, but instead you were shunted outwards into the Shadowfell, where Delphine magically secured the area, and you began to wait out your day until you could long rest, and then attempt another plane shift back to the material plane. And in this rest period, before you guys can bed down, that's where we left off. So, as you all sit around in the sort of black and grey rocks, the cold air, faint fog perforating from every breath that you take, seeing those kind of familiar dark orbs that just gently float by in the middle of the air, what would you all like to do? I believe there were some conversations to be had, which you can get to whenever.
I had grabbed Kev, took him off to the side because everyone else was doing it, and I felt left out.
Okay.
And I have some things to do with that, but I know that Chem had a conversation that I think is slightly more important.
It doesn't matter. Go for it.
She's
You can
gonna
have
go
hers
eat
first.
I'm not going to eat him.
Go for it, Izzy. You drag Kev over.
Drag him over. I kind of like plop him down, and I sit in front of him and look him in the eyes for a second and say, how are you holding up now that you're out and about and have your body back?
That's a really good question. I'm really tired, but I'm also like really excited and stuff, and I really want to like run around and kind of walk a little bit. I mean, I haven't slept or moved or eaten anything in like a year, and it's kind of
Weird.
I feel mixed. There are a lot of mixed emotions right now.
Absolutely. I can't do it right now, but since you do have your body back, I could, if you wish, after a bit of rest, could give you the ability to fly.
Uh,
And just
maybe
really explore the space as a person again.
as a person again.
Aye, your own person. It's absolute total freedom for about 10 minutes. Go to where you want. Don't have to bow to anyone else.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
You get wings. I do have to stab you with my hand, but you get wings.
Okay, I'll pass. It's okay.
Sure, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
So it does, but it doesn't do damage. You don't get
I don't like
damage.
needles or stabby things or nothing
It's not a
anymore.
needle.
Or stabby things
You
or
do
nothing.
feel a thing grow new muscles and bones out of your back. It's not. We get to fly.
I'll ask someone else. Thank you
Sure,
though.
sure, yeah. I wanted to fill you in on the entire situation. Well, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're feeling better. Glad you're back. to speak to you without having to talk through chaos. Which is nice.
Yeah. Thank you to both of you.
Absolutely, yeah, of course. There's a reason to help you. I'm gonna let you rest a bit more. I think your boy, Wade is off talking with his talking to. Did Wade go off somewhere? Someone else?
Yeah, Wade's currently off with Delphine.
Delphine, that's right. Yeah, Wade's talking to Delphine. So I guess give them a bit of time before you go over and bother him.
Okay, yeah. All right, thanks, Izzy.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know. It's just like a plain of black rock, right?
Yeah, there's literally nothing going on.
So
Yep.
she's just gonna like lay down and just she's nowhere else to go.
Cool. Yeah. So Izzy and Kev separate. Free.
Yes. She was gonna ask to borrow Zeravel for a few minutes.
Ziraval, who is still kind of looking over towards Wade, and Delphine sees you approach and you request for her to talk to you, and she nods and follows off to a quiet area.
All right. Um, I forgive me for these questions. I need to know where things stand for a couple things. Um, does Tharden know that Wade's alive? Or was he banished before?
No, he was on that night. I took Wade with
Sorry.
me, and he was chased out of the city by the High Queen Ilarieth. He didn't see what happened to him, so it is entirely possible that he thinks both of us may be dead.
All right. Um, this one you don't have to answer, but why didn't you go with Wade? I don't understand how a parent can just leave their child.
You see this kind of like, uh, even with your very high insight, you see this like gentle but kind of like pained smile, just like ever so gently crest on her face, and she kind of looks down for a second. My my affair with Tharden was exactly that. It was an affair on my wife. Hannon herself was notably and viscerally upset, as you would be. And since we were so enamored with each other prior, although I'm not a member of the royal family by birthright or election, I am by extension, and my place in the High Court would be duly noted by the High Queen if I were to have simply disappeared. She would have come for the both of us, and I could not protect anyone on a plane different to my own in a place that I didn't know. It was all I could do to simply sneak glimpses.
All right. Thank you.
You get the sense she's as you wrap up that part of the conversation, there is more that she almost wants to say, but she's refraining. This is not something that she um, has ever really talked about. So there's a lot of hesitation in her words.
I honestly don't know if Wade will ask you himself, so. Uh, apologies, I shouldn't have pried.
No, I understand. It's it's something that he deserves to know, and it may not be better, but it is easier this way. I'm sure he'll listen when it comes out of your voice.
I'm not sure he'll ask me either.
Right.
It's a touchy subject.
Is there anything else that you want to ask her?
Nope. She's fine with just going back to wherever the group is sitting.
Great. So, is there anything anyone else wants to do today before you rest?
Yeah,
I have a couple things as well.
After, yeah, he can. Esprit can go first, but there's something I want to do.
Okay.
Wait.
First off, while everybody's separated and off in their separate corners of the tiny hole place sanctum thing, I'm going to sit quietly and try to send a message to somebody, which I sent you that in the DMs, Equa.
Okay. You can say it aloud if you want to, or not, and then we can. I'll just give you a reply.
Yeah, just go ahead and give me a reply. I wanted to, because I'm kind of trying to keep it a little secret, a little bit, just a little bit. So.
Okay. Yeah. The. Oh. Yeah, it goes through. The reply does come back. After kind of like this faint pause.
Hmm.
Just kind of this like. I don't know if my microphone picked it up, but it's almost like this tut. It's like, nothing strange has happened. And that's it.
Okay. Pretty much what I expected.
Yep. Anything else?
Yes, actually, once everybody gets back together. But if Dyto has something that she wants to do as well, I can wait. Because this is basically everybody except for the two newbies. Basically, the 4 people that are the original party members is what it is. It's a conversation, so.
One of the things she wanted to do before Wade walked away from her. Remember, Wade. Her connection was to you. She wouldn't have been able to save you had I not had a connection to the hag. That's where the bad was coming from.
Okay. I've forgotten what this is about. You're gonna have to remind Griz.
So you had always thought that your mom was looking after you. This is kind of Delphine letting you know she was, but without the connection to the hag, she wouldn't have been able to save you.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
And as Wade goes one direction, she will kind of go to the edge of the barrier, and she's going to try and send a message to Hannon. There was a mishap, ended up in the Shadowfell instead of the material plane. Proper protections are in place. Did the invaders leave after our shift? That should be less than 25 words.
Sure. You send the message out, and the response comes, and kind of this like, a kind of like brief sigh. Just, Invaders are retreating, picking off stragglers now. Just keep her safe. And that's it.
Then I will keep an eye on Free and Zaravel until their conversation is done.
Sure. That conversation wraps up briefly. Make a perception check.
24.
You get the sense watching their conversation, and you don't so much hear it because they are a ways away. But with your keen eyes, there are definitely some emotions surging. and there is almost, looking into Zeraval, a faint release there, but it's a roller coaster. She's up and down kind of frequently when she's having that conversation, and when it's over, she sort of rights herself and stands up straight, and then walks back to the group.
Right. I'm gonna approach Bree then at that point as they're parting. You mentioned something about being tracked by items.
Possibly. I mean, they've seen us at this point. Anything we have on us, they know about.
Well, they can't track them while we're in here. She kind of like looks around to the darkness all around, the added darkness all around them. I cannot keep this going as we move, but I do have other protections in place. If you would like your items that they're tracking stored safely from scrying eyes.
Oh. Well, we have the, I'm assuming, staff of one of the Watchers, which I suppose would be a good thing to hide. I'm not sure if the strings are related to them or just something else entirely.
This is a family heirloom. It's only on loan. She pulls out of her pocket like this small looking chest, and she says into it, Nemesta, and about 5 feet away, this huge ornate silver chest with different colored gems in it appears. This is a lead-based chest that I can hide in the ethereal plane.
That is incredibly useful.
Only I can send it there, but as long as you have the word to recall it,
All right.
I will give you the replica that will retrieve it.
Appreciated. Much appreciated.
I'm here to protect my lady, and these items are not helping at the moment.
I understand. Then she'll store away the staff for now. I think that was the only thing that was watch related we still have on us. Other than what Izzy is wearing, and I don't think she's going to take that off.
What's the spell you're trying to cast here, Delphine?
Secret chest.
Secret chest. I just want to make sure that the thing will fit the staff.
It is a 3 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot.
So it will not. The staff
Okay.
is probably about 5 foot long.
Plus, on that note too, Kev also has his stuff too.
Yes, but Kev will be leaving the group from what I understand, so it won't be with
True.
us.
True. Yeah.
If you don't need it now, it's available to us when we do.
Thank you.
And she'll say the word and make the chest disappear back to the ethereal plane.
Cool.
Psst. Eze.
Yes.
Wade pulls Kev's rod out of his bag. Here, you can give it to him now.
Oh, right. I will present Kev with the fishing rod.
Sure, Kev kind of like watches you come over and just hand it.
I
And
can
he's-
like hold it out to him, like, here you are, here's a gift. But I got
Right, yeah, I saw that you got me this. Thank you, Izzy. That's very kind of you to do that.
when did you see I got you this? It was after we got you out of his head.
Oh no, I could still hear everything when I was in the
Wait.
gym.
You could
Good.
hear. Oh, God.
Yeah. Why?
Nothing. Hey, Kev, so, What's going on with the Raven Queen? How's what's that all about?
Uh, I don't really know. I think I think when I was here, I think I might have started to slip. You know, past whatever, and I think I may have made a deal with her. I can't really remember. It's real that part is kind of foggy.
Okay. Well, bud, if you ever need help with that stuff, I too am now a follower of the Raven Queen, so I can show you around a little bit.
Yeah, no, I got that. That's really weird because now there are three of us
Right.
that do that.
We should be like the Raven Squad, or we'll come up with a cool name.
Yeah, it's almost like there ain't no other gods in this damn country.
Shh! Don't swear. We're in her domain.
So, everyone coalesces as per Lakin's request.
So I kind of want to do it like on the opposite side of like the enclosed area that we're in.
Okay.
And just kind of ask for privacy for a little bit.
So you're taking the rest of the goats. You're leaving Zeraval and Delphine?
Well, we're still like in the secured thing and basically just going to the other side.
Sure.
Basically, like still within eye shot, but like hopefully out of hearing range.
So you want to exclude Zeraval and Delphine? What about Kev?
Kev was there
no.
for most of the adventure,
Yes.
dude.
Yeah, just bring Kev too. I'll bring Kev too.
You guys forget,
Yes.
Kev is the last founding member of the Silver Goats.
Uh-huh.
He was
I know,
there when it
that's
was
why-
made.
That's why I was like, yeah, that's what I was like. That's why I had to think. I had to think for a minute. I'm like, wait, no, he knows everything anyway. So yeah.
Apparently, he's been so rudely listening in on our conversations.
He's been
Right.
eavesdropping the entire
He was
time.
trapped in a rock for a time and couldn't.
Yeah.
He had no like autonomy for a bit.
So much for let's not tell Kev. Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
As-
totally.
As they're walking off, obviously to have some privacy, Delphine is going to sit in front of Zeravel with her back to wherever they're going, and she's going to activate the lock of hair that Wade has.
Mm-hmm. I figured as much.
Okay. Cool. Great. Awesome. So the rest of you all head off.
Okay. I was gonna sit there. Once everybody gathers around, I'm gonna be like, all right. Gonna need some let's say skepticism here. And open minds. Cause probably not gonna like part of this, but it might go someplace else. Might like it afterwards. While we were running through the castle on our way to get Kev earlier, I'm sure you noticed Izzy and I had stopped moving at one point. Specifically in front of a room that had a lot of precious items in front of it. Well, just so happened that the person that the three of us, eyeing Izzy and Free as well, made a deal with, requested some items that might help in our quest. Now, I know what you're thinking, Free, and I'm sure Wade's probably on the same page. However, if she wants them to help her, it'll probably help us with the cakery as well, given what kind of beings are there as well. Now, I'm just throwing this out there as a suggestion, not saying we have to do it, or that it is an end-all be-all thing. It's just as an option. But if we wanted to, and everybody was on board and interested, we could try and talk to Hannon and see if we could borrow those particular items for a time. But like I said, it's just a suggestion and an offer, not a set in stone thing. But I wanted to offer it to the entire group first.
I guess it wouldn't hurt to ask if we can borrow them, but I mean, I definitely don't want to steal them.
Oh no. That's not the plan at
Yeah.
all. Like I have full intention of returning the items as soon as we are done with them.
I guess it wouldn't
But
hurt to ask.
given that this pertains mostly to Free, I would like her input as well.
There is also an issue before Free. You can say your piece. They don't belong to Hannon. They belong to the palace.
I'm aware.
So there's also that. I think she may not have the authority, but
It's worth a shot.
worth a shot, eh?
Isn't she technically royalty?
I still think that if a thing belongs to a different royalty, you can't have it if you're also royalty.
She's one of the queen's generals, but the palace belongs to the queen.
Yes.
Indeed.
But as like you were saying, as we're running, I got a message from, well, Tiamat telling me to grab the things. And when I did leave, she tried to force me back to take them. But we were sort of in the middle of something, and it seemed more important to get Kev.
Thanks for that.
Of course. The reason I wanted to go to Feywild in the first place.
Not for nothing, but I don't think. I'm hoping this thing protects against Tiamat's trying too, but I have no idea, so I'm just gonna say it anyway. I hope. I know for a fact I am at least. Have no intention of following through on that deal that we made with her in the first place. Because she's a little bit more evil than I'd like to keep my hands on. And, yeah. But, like I said, those items I feel like could help us deal with the cakery. Given that she wanted us to get them to deal with, what the hell was the guy's name?
Zarapel?
The
Zariel.
devil that she wants to
Zariel.
kill is Zariel.
Sorry.
Yeah, Zariel.
Aye, and if we do take them, get them, it'll be sort of easier to continue to pretend that we're working towards the goal she wants us to work towards.
Mm-hmm. Keep her appeased for a time at least.
Aye. But I have no intention of helping her, no intention of releasing fucking Tiamat from her cage.
Free is just playing with her like moon bow pendant at this point, really nervously. She's like, I don't know. I don't want to steal from them. We already caused their city to be attacked.
Not steal them, ask if we can't get them, then we can't get them.
I like I said, I have no intention of stealing or anything else like that. I'm just meaning
we've
to
caused them
borrow
enough
and bring
grief.
back.
We've caused them a lot more grief.
Only if they allow us to have them and to borrow them.
All right. So we can ask. I assume we'll be teleporting to the Fae in the morning. How are we doing that?
The Fae? No, not at all. Why would we go to the Fae?
Well, so here's the thing. There's a few options. First, we could go back to the Fae in the morning and just tell Hannon to meet us at the teleportation circle in the castle, and then we can go from there.
I think a better idea was to go to Rokrovia like our first plan, and get some more permanent protection.
I had a suggestion.
Which
If
was,
we have 2 teleportations from plane to plane.
we'd have one.
I have one.
Well, we
unless
have another
the other
caster
two-
who we've excluded out of this conversation who could also talk to Han and maybe help us convince.
But I was just
I-
getting ready to say.
I think, because again, the teleportation back to the material plane is in the palace, and they just had an attack. They're going to have a heightened security. I think it'd be better to go back to material plane with a lake in, and then go to Tyra's tribe. Talk to them because we have to. We'll have to talk to them and be like, "Oh, Tyra got turned to stone," and Delphine
Who
and
knows?
can go back through the portal there. They've fucking have the right.
It's probably best that none of us go back to the Fae, seeing as we're being followed.
Right.
So messaging and asking first without being there, definitely important to do.
Right.
Also, if she says yes, perhaps we should have one of Thyra's tribe members go through and get the gifts.
That's an idea. I did not think of that.
We
Since we'll
should
be going
get
there anyway.
permanent protections before we do
Yes,
anything else.
yes. I with that suggestion, I believe it will probably be a good idea to go to the Krovi first, get some permanent protection there, and then go from there. 3? What's up?
All right. So it took them over 8 hours to find us in the Fae, right? We all rested.
Mhm. It was closer to probably about 12 hours by the time it was all said and done. Right, Equa?
All right.
Question mark?
Yes, because we also rested in the spring and we chatted, so it was a while.
Yeah.
So, since we'll also be losing Kev to his adventure, if we want to chance it, I was going to suggest go to Keijo for at most an hour or 2, and then Wade could teleport us to Recrovy, and there we know they have the scry-proof room at least.
Mhm.
And that way Kev can also see his family and his sister before he has to part.
Can do that. Aye.
I still
But-
don't know if I like the idea of going to Keijo.
Again, that's if we think it's safe.
I think we should get protections first. We could travel around right quick as long as we can teleport around. We can move around quickly, get the protections. Wait, Kev can see his sister. We can take him back to Keijo or send him back, and he should be fine. He's tough now. He's not just a hunter from a small thing. He can fucking do magic and disappear and shit.
And I mean, on the note of sending him there, just in case, hell, Typhine saw him and saw him fighting with us, so he could be in just as much danger as we are now. So if we could get him some sort of protection while we're in Recrovy as well,
Absolutely.
to protect from scrying, and then send him on his way, that might be a better idea. Right, Kev?
I don't really think that going to Keijo would be great, because if they know that we've been there, then they would go there and they'd... I don't think that'd be good for the town. I guess we can go to Recrovy. Maybe they won't be able to track me if this is it too.
Kiv. Before you go off on your adventure, though, you do need to go home and see your mom and pa.
Yeah, I will. I'll figure it out.
Alright. So, is our plan Recrovy, or...
Well,
I
it
think.
seems like the general consensus is with Crovey.
Aye. Sounds good to me. Any objections or any other ideas?
No.
No.
All right, let's inform our passengers.
Right.
So during all of this, Delphine would have been whispering in Sylvan cliff notes of what they were talking about. Especially about the weapons that they want from the palace and
Sure.
where they plan to go next.
Yeah.
We know how their plans work.
Yeah, no shit.
They didn't mention anything about specifics. They didn't mention what items they were trying to retrieve or what they were going to do. So you got cliff notes. You got exactly what was said.
Hey, Free.
Hmm?
How do you feel about Delphine? I felt like you heard what I heard, right?
I was trying not to make that connection,
Mm-hmm.
but I heard it.
I talked to her, and I got her story, and I think we can trust her. She's a victim in all this, like I was. Ghost Gator was using her to get back home too.
She really, really must have been homesick.
Yeah. She even gave me these cool doll hairs. I mean, you know how rare these are?
Oh,
There was a
great.
shortage in Keijo like a couple years back. You remember that?
I mean, this is like the greatest gift you can give to somebody from Cage.
I wonder how much they're worth.
Yeah, I'm gonna, probably sell this off when we get back there someday.
I think that's a good idea.
Oh, goodness.
Izzy, upon hearing this, is going to use meld into stone and just disappear to the earth.
Yeah, she basically just
God, I
falls
wish I
back.
had it
and-
prepared so I could do it too. I wish I had that prepared so I could do it too.
Sorry, I had to
God damn
do a
it.
throwback joke.
No, it's fine. I still hate you about it. But it's
Last
fine.
time you heard that was when you were in Unroot the first time. That's crazy.
Yep.
Yup.
Strange. A lock of hair is very strange, but alright.
Yeah, so I think we can trust her if we want to ask her to send a message to Han, and I bet she'd be willing.
Then then we should have included her in the conversation, as I mentioned. But
We can go. We are a group. We can discuss it. We're not going to hold
oh, you're
this
back, Izzy.
secret. Yes, I popped my head out for a second. We're not going to keep this a secret from them. We're not going to be like, oh, we're doing the thing. We're not telling you about it. We're not going to tell them. We're
it's
allowed to discuss as a group.
It's a sensitive discussion, so I wanted to make sure everybody was on board first before even broaching the subject with anybody else.
Hey,
Fair enough. I also have one message left, and I don't know what to do with it. If I should check in on Duel, or
I think you should. We're going to rest here. We're going to sleep here. We're safe here for now. Let's send a message to Duel. See if he's doing all right. See what's going on over in.
I could also message Tharden, or even Tyra to see if he kept his word and turned her back to normal.
Try that. I think
His message Tyra. Make sure that she's alright. It's absolutely correct.
I'd recommend Tharden over Thyra because if she's still stone, then
Then at least we know he's lying.
right. Because if we talk to Tharden, he could just lie to us and we wouldn't
he
know.
could just lie back. Yeah, that's true.
Also,
All right.
Wade,
Yeah.
he doesn't know that you're still here.
Right.
I don't want him to do the same and try and take you away.
Message Tyra. Make sure she's alright, and we can deal with Tharden later.
I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure she doesn't get turned to stone. We should be fine.
Alright.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Ugh. All right. She will try messaging Thyra.
Okay, what do you say?
Thyra, I'm unsure if you've been returned to normal. Tharden left us at a Fey gate. And we got Kev back and have some other news for you.
So you send the message out, and you wait to hear if there is a response. And you know you're probably on a different plane of existence, and there is a chance that might not even go through. If not, if she's still turned to stone, then there wouldn't be a response. Then you continue to wait, and you wait. Nothing comes back.
All right. She just kind of makes a face and goes to sit down. She's not happy.
I guess that answers that question. And it's not something that any of us probably didn't expect. But I guess let's go have this conversation with our compatriots, shall we?
Absolutely.
Yeah, as they get closer, Delphine comes out of her trance to puts a hand on the lady's shoulder, looks at the goats, gives them this look, and kind of walks away to send a message to Hannon.
Okay.
But I'm trying to figure out how to get all of that into 25 words, so it might.
Sure. So the rest of you all come up, and you see her do this. Make insight checks, all of you.
Okay. So-
I'm gonna roll lower than my fucking
I
pass.
said passive, like she's got a high passive too.
I hate it.
8.
I rolled a 5.
I rolled an 8.
14.
Ooh.
14.
Oh, 21. One better than my pass.
Nice.
Bree, you are constantly in the position of knowing that your friends are all talking about scheming things and making plots and plans, and you find yourself not being included some of the time until after they've already made the plan and are getting ready to pitch it. And you have very much a similar reaction to what she just had just then.
So I do want to say something before Free walks away, before Free says anything. As Delphine's walking away, I'm just gonna, he's just gonna be like, "Oh wait, we wanted to talk to you both." As she's walking
listening.
away.
She knows the plan already, Alakian. Don't worry about it.
Man, she's got some good ears.
And
She's got some good doll hairs.
Yep.
beautiful.
So yeah, she won't go far away, but in Sylvan, I think I only have one more of these left. I do. No, I can do one more after this. But she's gonna cast Sending to Hannon again. Going to Rakrovi. Goats would like weapons from the palace to use against Bakery. Could also be used to free Tiamat and kill Zariel.
We literally said we don't want to do that.
I only have 25 words, guys.
It's
True.
just funny because she said bakery.
Yeah, same. That's what
She
I
doesn't
laughed
know
at.
what it is.
I know, it's just funny.
You guys just said bakery while you guys were talking.
You said cakery.
Bakery,
So-
whatever.
So you feel the
Bakery,
message
bakery.
go out, and the response simply comes back as this kind of vague expression of, "What? What weapons? Why? Can we even trust them?"
I mean, we saved the town, sort of.
We're glad because we fucked up the town real bad. Let's be
What was
honest
the-
here.
Did you really save something that they're there for, you were the cause of?
What were the questions again? I know. Can we trust them?
Can we trust them? What weapons do they want? She wants to reiterate, or you to reiterate, basically why and what the fuck they want.
He's gonna yell back. Do you guys know specifically what weapons you want? Or do I have to guess?
Names? No. I can give you descriptions though.
Can you tell me where in the palace they are?
Yes.
It looked like a room full of a whole bunch of precious items.
Either an
Do I know what
armory
room that
or a
is?
treasure room.
Yeah, that's Ilaria's fault.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh no.
Figured as much.
She'll use her last spell slot to cast her last sending. Weapons from the vault. They're morons, but trustworthy.
Valid.
Yeah,
Super
fair
valid.
Nail on the head, guys. Nail on the head.
It's 100% valid.
Yeah, the voice returns. It would depend on the weapon. We'll talk more when you return.
And she will go back to the group. And that wasn't Sylvan, so the only two who could understand it was Wade and Zarabel.
Curiously enough, as you look back, Kev is kind of like nodding along as well as you talk. You get the sense he also probably understands Sylvan.
Where the hell did Kev
He needs
pick
to
that
know-
up from?
Living inside your brain.
There's a lot of weird exposure things that happen when you are part Shadowfowl, part material, part Feywild, and then they all just coalesce.
A lot of weird shit going on in his body. He's frankly turned out pretty okay.
You kind of drag shit of your surroundings in with you a little bit.
He's going through second puberty.
Yeah.
He's going through something, that's for sure.
It's his midlife crisis, minus the shiny cars.
Yeah.
She said it depends on the weapons.
Sure. Yeah, honestly, I wasn't expecting to get the weapons. So,
I wasn't expecting much of a response in the first place.
yeah.
You might not have gotten a response.
Well, that's why we're going to talk to you about it.
All right, fair. Okay.
All right. So then you must have heard the rest of the plan, or at least the suggested plan. What do you think? Should we go straight to the prime material, or should we go with you to the Feywild to pick these up?
We don't know we need to get permanent protections.
I know. I'm just saying, if it's easier to go there and grab them and leave, or go there and then come back the next day, we just need a set plan.
Wherever we go, I can set this up again, leave whatever items they're tracking of you inside this area. Shouldn't be a problem. They shouldn't be able to track them, sniff them out, whatever, scry on you or them. You can get whatever permanent things you need, come back, and we can go back to the Feywild.
Right. Let's go to the clothing. We shouldn't go back to the Feywilds at all. Especially not back to the city.
Not
Perhaps.
without permanent protection?
Well, not at all. I don't think that we should go back to the city just in general. I don't think they'll be very happy with us if the people that caused the attack go to town, just trying to be courteous. I think we should go to the Krovi, get permanent protections, drop Kev off with his sister, and then move on to the cakery, maybe even, or...
You're forgetting a very important point. Our lady here is back.
I literally remembered that as I finished in that. Oh.
Hence why I mentioned the Feywild.
Yeah, we can send them. They can. Are you able to transfer?
You were allotted one day.
Mhm.
Yes, I am asking, are you able to go back to the plane? Go through the planes yourself?
After I sleep, I might be able to.
Alright, so she
Speaking of
has...
one day, Delphine, it's hard to tell time passing here, so it may probably be closer to 3 to the people on the outside of this plane.
With the amazing history check I had on the Shadowfell, would I know the difference in time between the Feywild and the Shadowfell?
Yeah, you would know. You would know that there is no real difference in time, but there are aspects of the Shadowfell's magic that seem to affect brain capacity and memory in groups or individuals, um, and thus you're going to rest anyway, and the act of resting is going to put you anywhere in any range of days. Traditionally, people only it could be anywhere between 1 and 4 days that you're gone.
Hannon is aware of where we are. I've already informed her that there was a mishap and we ended up on the Shadowfell, so she would be able to make proper excuses if it takes longer than a day.
All right, I just wanted to ensure that you knew, in case it caused more trouble.
So one thing I do want to point out, though, provided we can get clearance beforehand, I mean, because obviously the only people that know who we were and who was there, who those people were looking for, are the people sitting here and Hannon. So if we can get her blessing to come back beforehand, we might be able to go back and get those items that we need once we get the proper protections in place.
Would Delphine know if the BS he's spilling is even possibly true? About outsiders?
Make a history check for me.
25.
Okay. What he's asking for is for strangers that are not natives to the Fae to walk into the High Court, borrow some very prized weaponry or items, and then just dip with them. There are manners to scry in on such items. There are ways to do so. But the level of trust is probably not there quite yet. And so, in order to convince the High Queen, who is notably very strict, Hannon's either going to have to pull a fast one out of her ass, or there's going to have to be a very, very good reason.
Yeah, so Delphine kind of does a little flourish with her blade. I think there's a greater chance of me shoving this up your ass than the Queen letting you borrow some of her toys.
Any way we could help improve these odds of getting the toys, not you shoving that up his ass?
It's not unheard of, but very unlikely. She's the High Queen for a reason.
Sure.
We'll say as well, Delphine, because you rolled so fucking well. Not all the items in there belong to Queen Lariath, but they are part of the collection.
Now, if the items you seek are not ones that belong to her, then there's probably a better chance of being able to retrieve them.
Would you know what items that would be? Like, if I could give you descriptions, would you know?
Would I know?
Are you giving her the descriptions?
I'm asking her if she would know.
And I'm asking you.
Potentially, maybe.
Potentially? Okay.
I know of some of the items that are in there, yes.
Right, so the first one looked to be nothing more than a floating ball of light. Right, Equa? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other one was a long sword with a winged hilt and a blue gem inlaid in it.
So you, Delphine, make 2 history checks. One for the first, one for the second. Okay.
20.
You are aware of what both of these are. The first, the bead of light, does belong to Queen Ilariath. It was a blessing that was bestowed upon her as ruler of the Feywild, for being such a stoic leader, ruler, and warrior from something called a Gleamstone Dragon, is the rumor. That's going to be a little hard to get, probably. But there's maybe a chance. The other one actually belongs to Hannon, and it is her prized Holy Avenger that she won one of the last notable wars against the Baba Yaga and her encroaching forces against Shivanran. This was probably 200 years ago or so. She helped fight off with that.
Well, the ball of light, not likely to get. That was bestowed upon our dear queen by a gleam dragon? Is that what you said? Gleam dragon?
Gleamstone.
Gleamstone.
Gleam. Yeah.
Would any of us
And-
know who or what that is once she gets done?
And the other is Hannon's most prized possession, which is why it's in the vault. It's the very sword. It's a sword, right?
Yeah.
That she used to defeat the Baba Yaga that encroached on Shivanran.
Right. The Baba Yaga, that's
Queen
My-
of the
A
Hag.
hag.
my dad, Thyra.
I think
That's
the
who
name
he
was.
was cursed under.
Yeah, his name was given. He was sort of cursed under the name, but I think Baba Yaga's the Queen of the Hags.
Is the matron of all hags.
So there's
Yeah.
3 Baba Yagas. That's what I'm
There's one Baba
understanding.
Yaga and 2 people who are called Baba Yaga.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the Baba Yaga and then the other Baba Yaga.
Equa, would any of
Um,
us know what a Gleamstone Dragon is?
Make a nature check.
May I
Nature
make-
check? Oh, that's a 5.
Is it customary in the material plane to name people or themselves after nightmares?
So the name. So our friend Tyra got the name Baba Yaga. Her father gave him that and called her. I don't know why. He probably took the name after he was cursed and took it on as a moniker because
As a big FU to the
yeah, it's a fuck you to the
Feywild,
Fae. Yeah, it's a fuck you.
Because
You're like, yeah, you think I'm
she's
cursed? I'll
the
take name
matriarch of the
greatest.
tribe that deals with them.
Took on the name of the greatest enemy because fuck you. I think probably.
Yeah.
Sounds like a jackass. Honestly, I kind of like the style. Now that being said, we would like to use these weapons to destroy a sex slavery ring controlled by devils.
So this Tharden,
Aye.
she looks at Zaravel, because I'm pretty sure she knows a little bit about who he is, because she was alive then.
The only things that you've heard were today in the conversations that she's
Yeah.
had with the group. You probably would have heard of an event surrounding an outsider about 25 years ago. It was quickly exiled, but you don't know that it was from her or connected to her.
And she was looking at her for more of confirmation that was the name she heard. Went around the material plane naming people Baba Yaga.
As far as we know, just his one daughter.
Aye.
He was the matriarch of the tribe.
Yes, because the
Yep.
Scorched Right recently killed her mother.
She starts tapping her fingers on her spell book.
Yeah, we've had a lot of odd connections with all of this lately.
It's been very strange, eh?
Are you expecting this matriarch to be in the Feywild anytime soon?
I mean, that's entirely up to her. She has to go meet with the Feywild eventually, but we're currently trying to...
While we're stuck here in the Shadowfell?
No, Tharden has her somewhere.
She got turned to stone. It's been a nightmare the past couple of days.
Wait, why is it really gonna be a problem if her name is Baba Yaga? It's not even what she goes by.
Yeah, she goes by
The
Ty.
problem is if two people who are there to protect the Feywild are conveniently in the Shadowfell,
No, she's
where
turned
nobody
to
can
stone.
find them,
She's turned to stone.
then it would be in my best interest to know whether she will be making an appearance
Nope,
with, you said, the Scorched King? Are those the people who just invaded the Feywild?
Scorched Right. They work for the Scorched King, and I think those two work for the Scorched King as well. Yeah.
But no,
That would not be good for you if that happened while we were stuck here.
She will not be there.
She's turned to stone.
She is currently petrified. As far as being protected, the only reason they were there in the first place was looking for us. Because we have stuff that they want, and quite frankly, have probably been meddling in their plans a decent bit.
Yeah, we've been sort of fucking around and pissed them off for a while.
Well, you can see where I could be concerned if she were
I
to show up
understand.
with another army while you guys are conveniently hidden.
She's one made of stone, and two, we probably similar to Wade. Probably hard for her.
She's just shaking her head at Izzy, not even looking
Probably
at her.
hard to get into the Feywild because her father started.
She's not there. I'm assuming you're not talking about Thyra, the person that we've been talking about. You're talking about the people that attacked the city the first time. Correct?
I'm talking about you guys.
Aye.
Brought whatever you brought to the Feywild. We get
Aye.
you out. I am now protecting you. Nobody can find you right now. But you have a friend who is the matriarch to the tribe that has complete access to the Feywild. And Tharden has access to her.
Aye.
And you don't think that is a problem?
Oh, it's definitely a fucking problem. We just couldn't do anything about it.
Can't.
We didn't want to give her to Tharden. We had to give her to Tharden or he'd kill us. Because we had just been our shit wrecked by a fucking demigod.
So, let's put it this way. Yes, it's bad. Probably not worst case scenario. However,
Any
we
case
also
scenario
cannot.
Is worst case scenario.
We cannot have any. We cannot have any. Let's see. How should I put this? We don't have any control over how that happened because my guess is that Tharden probably knew about this in the first place, which is the entire reason why he went to Thyra's tribe to convince them to let him have
I'm just
child
trying
with
to let
Matron
you
there the first
guys
time.
know that if something happens while we are not there because we got you out and it turns out that this person is connected to you, this does not look good for you.
We're aware. No, we are absolutely aware of all of this. Yeah.
And had I known this before I sent my last message, this is important information for them to have in advance.
Cool. So we can do.
Good to know now.
Yeah, so we can be pissed about that. Because we didn't know that Tharden was fucking around inside the Feywild. But again, we had our shit rocked by a demigod. So we had no choice but to give up Thyra, because if we didn't, he would have killed us.
Let's hope she's still stone. No offense to your friend.
Oh, offense taken. Anyways, let's all rest and sleep and fucking get back to the material plane so we can fucking do shit about this.
So, you guys just want to spend the rest of the day resting or doing whatever?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's what his plan is.
So you'll be sitting here for the better part of 24 hours that you know of.
Sure.
So you guys begin sitting around and doing whatever.
Sorry.
Yep.
I
Go ahead.
did at one point want to take out a rope. All right, Kev, putting this around you. I'm just gonna tie a rope around him, tie it around my waist. All right, not losing you again. Also, Shadowfell does some funky shit, so get
He does do
in.
some funky shit. Remember when he got us arrested when the city was be attacked by a bunch of mind flayers?
Right,
City was
that
attacked by a
happened.
bunch of mind flayers.
Right.
Yeah.
So
City was
that.
still mad at you about that.
Sorry, it wasn't myself.
I'm kidding. I'm not actually mad at you.
So
Oh,
yeah, just tie a rope around him. I'm not gonna.
yeah. As the day goes on, Kev will pull you aside, Wade. Because Kev obviously wants to talk to you. It's just Wade and Kev. And he'll just pull you aside and he'll sit you down away from the group and he'll say, "Hey, so I wanted to say to you, I guess I just wanted to say thank you for everything. I mean, it goes out towards the whole group, and I know that y'all don't really go by like the hero type or nothing. You're a bit crazy for that, but you guys are heroes to me. Saved my life, and especially you, Ed. I just wanted to say, thanks for never giving up on me. Would have
You
been
would've
easy
done
too.
the same thing for me, bud.
Well, not many people would though. It's been a long time, and you've had to cross plains, and you had to fight a hag twice, and you were killed by her, and you had to swear yourself off to some religion, and it's just I don't know how I could repay you for doing all this,
You don't have to repay me. What are friends for?
I know. I do. I just want you to know how much it means to me that you went and did all this.
Right. Okay.
All of you.
Fine. You want to repay me?
Yeah.
Live your best life. But also, I broke up with your sister.
I am aware. Wait. It's okay. You know, I'm the one that suggested free the first time, so really you have me to thank for all that.
Yep. You got an eye for these things.
I do. Yeah. She's a nice lady. I hope you guys work out. I really do. I mean, it's gonna be hard. I'm not in your head anymore, and I'm not in a little rock in your pocket. So,
You having withdrawals?
no, I wouldn't say that. Uh, I think I need to spend some time and figure out who I am now, I don't really know who I am anymore.
Right. That makes sense. I've changed quite a bit on my journey as well. I can only imagine what it was like for you. But don't lose that value, boy. All right? It's what makes us who we are.
I know. I won't be gone too long. I just gotta do some figurines and stuff out. Where would I be without my best buddy, right?
One more time for old sake.
Yeah.
He sends a message into Kev's mind. All right, come on, say something.
Oh, I'm in your head. Oh.
Weirdly missed that.
Yeah. All right. Love you, Wade.
Love you too, bud.
And he holds out his arms as wide as they can go.
Yeah, I'll hug
Gives you a
him.
big man hug around the midsection.
And then as he goes to like let go, I want to try and like trip him and then like headlock him and noogie him.
Make an athletic check. Let's see if he succeeds.
Oh, 23.
23?
Yeah.
Holy shit. He got a natural 20.
No fucking way. What's his
He
modifier?
got a natural 20. For
For
both
strength.
athletics and acrobatics. They're both 4, so he got a 24.
He beats me by 1. Are you joking?
It's the only way that he could have. You go and try and trip him, and he just, like, sort of ducks over the way. You kind of clip the very end of his toes before he spins.
It's almost
I saw
like,
that coming.
Yeah, it's almost like he knew it was going to come because he spent way too much time on my head.
I figured it out. You can't do that to me. And so, yeah. You guys sit around for the better part of a day. And then sleep takes you. Not long after. And as you all begin to rest, the sleep goes by, uneventful, with the barrier still maintaining, even in your state of unconsciousness. Following day, you all level up.
Woo!
Yay!
And at the start of the day, I need everyone to roll a wisdom saving throw and add a d4.
Yeah.
Wisdom save, let's
Love
go!
these wisdom saves. My save isn't bad, actually.
Succeeds,
What's a
or all
Well,
succeeds.
I rolled a.
That's a 14.
19 altogether.
I
I
got
have a
19
plus
as well.
I have a plus
Yay.
5 to my wisdom save.
I got
That
a
is a
26.
It's a solid wisdom save. I rolled a 2,
Okay.
so for a 7.
So, who got the 14? Alakian?
I did.
Surprisingly enough, everyone succeeds with the blessing of the Raven Queen, except for Alakian, who was the first follower. Go ahead and roll d12 for me.
I rolled a 7.
I mean, okay, I'm just gonna
Oh,
say
you rolled
this
d12
right
as
now.
well, Izzy.
I'm gonna say this right now. It doesn't matter because I've got lesser restoration prepared anyway, just for in case this happened. But I'm gonna
Well-
roll the d12 anyway, just because I'm curious.
Yeah, it depends.
That's a 4.
4 as well.
You both become very sluggish and kind of like disinterested in everything. Your flaw is incompetence. You find it difficult to execute tasks, no matter the size or difficulty, and you both have disadvantage on all ability checks.
Fine.
I'm gonna pop myself with lesser restoration real quick because fuck that. If we're trying to get the hell out of here.
Are these people okay?
There's not technically a condition. I'll say roll a.
Well, I thought, isn't that what what's her face did whenever we did it? Wasn't it lesser restoration that she popped us with?
I think he's trying
Some
to
of them
say.
worked, some of them didn't.
Oh, I thought he was trying to say that one of the things was that you're just bad at doing shit right now, right?
Yeah.
So like,
You
would it be
are.
like an Arcana check to see if he was able to succeed at?
It's
this?
going to be a Arcana or spellcasting modifier. Yeah, make an Arcana check. I think that's better.
Okay.
It's more fitting for this.
That's a 24.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, you can just about cure yourself. It takes a strong like struggle from your mental like sort of stubbornness that is now rooted inside of you. But you pull through and you manage to cast a spell. And you are fixed for all intents and purposes.
Okay. Alright. I don't like this place. I know I was born here at one point.
You
I
brought
don't
us
like
here.
it. Not on purpose, I promise you. I'm sorry. But, are you able to get... Are you able to cast plane shifts? And if so, are you coming with us, or you're just going back to the Feywild? That's right, we discussed this yesterday. Alright. Okay. So, because we're gonna run the, we're gonna spin the lotto wheel again today, it seems.
Okay, so plan of attack here. What are you guys doing? Give me a full detailed plan.
Is Zaravel expected back at the Feywild before we can go to the material plane?
It's hard to tell because you don't know how long you've been in the Shadowfell for.
Well, if shit gets real on the material plane, I can at least get the two of us back to where we belong.
Right, so my question is, how many times can you cast plane shift today?
I can
If
get
we're
us
even
back
able to.
to the Feywild. That is it.
Alright.
I'm currently laying on the floor, interested in all what you're doing. It's right laying on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Well, I'm gonna need some help again, trying to, get us where we need to go again.
Pats him on the shoulder. Don't fuck it up this time.
I flip him off.
That's your inspiration.
That's
Don't
fine.
fuck it up.
So it's what, a
If he usually
D10
gives
now?
usually gives moral support, she just flips him off.
Yes, it is a D10 now.
Nice. Okay. Alright, so give myself advantage, because enhance ability. Fucking try this again. Intelligence check.
Is an
First
intelligence
one.
check.
I grab a hold of Zaravel before all of this starts.
That is okay, so the first roll was a 19 because I rolled a
Okay.
6 I rolled a 13 and then a 6 on the D12. So
you are okay. And you're attempting to go back to the material plane, right?
correct. We're going to Recrovi. I guess I'm going to attempt to get us inside Recrovi.
Okay, whereabouts in Recrovi are you trying to get to specifically?
Specifically trying to get to the Archivist Echelon.
Yeah. Okay, sure. As your party links hands and begins to just sort of gently, focus in silence as you begin the incantation and complete the spell, you feel that that circle of light begin to take form, and that familiar, like, uncomfortable sensation in your body as you are shunted across barriers, and you feel the atmosphere around you get warmer, the sounds get louder, there are people talking, conversing. You hear the gentle sort of like sway of water and slapping with something entering and then leaving and entering and then leaving. And as you open your eyes, you are standing just a little ways off, maybe 100, 150 feet from the Archivist Echelon. You're not quite inside, but you're close.
Oh, it worked this
Much
time.
better, Lakian.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, look at that. You did the things you're supposed to do
matron.
all the time. Good for you.
Ready to shock your sister, Kev?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
What's
It's gonna be
wrong,
weird.
bud?
Nothing's wrong. It's just, I guess I didn't really think about how I was gonna reintroduce myself to people.
Oh,
No.
I have a good idea. Oh my god, wait, hold on. What if I polymorph you into an alligator? And then we say, we got Kev back, but oh no, he's a gator. Shoot.
I feel like
Make
that
a
would be
persuasion check with disadvantage.
This normal?
Yes.
for him, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was doing my level up, so let me persuasion. Here we go. 15.
15.
I mean, if you don't like gator, we could go like squirrel, moose, something.
Or hi, I'm Kev.
I'm a little conflicted because I feel like I should really just introduce myself back to my sister who's been missing me for a year, but at the same time, I ain't never gonna get to do this again, so it really is a one-time opportunity here.
Oh my goodness.
Just think.
He's just gonna start walking away towards the echelon.
Just think. I mean,
It's gonna
wouldn't-
follow Free because she's annoyed with everyone right now and thinks they're all stupid.
wouldn't
I'm sure
Asmin...
Zaravel wants to be close to her son, so Delphine's stuck watching this.
Just think, if the roles were reversed, you know for a fact Asmin would do this to you. For sure, no doubt.
Okay, gator me up.
Can we not do it in the middle of town, please? Oh
Are we
god.
near the echelon?
You-
Or
We're
Yeah, you're
100
pretty
feet
near
away.
it.
You,
Like
I don't.
100 feet
Oh
away.
wait, hold on. I have polymorph. I would know. Hold on. Do you need to be able to see or touch your target for polymorph?
It's just C, I think. It's with like a 30-foot, 60-foot range.
Yeah, I think it's C. It's
Mhm.
Yeah, you got to see it. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
all right. One gator coming up. I cast him into a gator, but not a giant alligator, just a normal-sized alligator.
Okay.
so we now have Loki, the Loki alligator, just following
We
us
now
around.
have superior Loki. Yes.
Yeah, great, good to know.
So, you, Wade, cast a spell, and Kev's form shifts into that of a regular-sized alligator in the middle of the thoroughfare here in the city. And, like, there are a couple people who just sort of look and, like, go on past. And as you, like, feeling kind of good about yourself, you start to hear people, like, shouting, like, "Oh my god, there's an alligator in the city!" And people are now clamoring around, almost in fear, except for you lot.
Everyone calm down. He's just a boy.
Free is going to use sending, because she's walked away at this point, to message Wade and be like, you realize his intelligence dropped to that of a gator. He might not recognize you or what you're about to do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been through this.
Oh.
I go into the gator roll, like I jump onto his back and I grab onto him and I start wrestling him. And then hopefully I'm able to get him into a position where I've got him and I'll walk in.
Okay, so you attempt to try and wrestle Gator Kev.
No,
Um,
wrestle.
Wrestle.
Oh my
Random.
goodness.
And in doing so, he just lets you. You just do it.
Sweet. All right. Yeah, I'll walk in with like Kev
I feel sorry for this sister.
in a hug, sort of thing.
I
Okay.
do too.
So you all begin to walk in. You are immediately stopped outside by guards who are questioning why the fuck you're bringing an alligator into the Archivist Echelon.
Don't worry, we're with Asmin. Very important echelon business.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Would Free have been able to, like, go in ahead of them and start talking to the person to get Asmin downstairs?
21.
Sure. Yeah, I'll allow that. That's
21.
fine. 21. They're real cautious, but they've seen you before, been here before, and they just hesitantly let you in.
You want to pay them?
Am I allowed to?
Sure.
Goes ahead and reaches his hand out. Nope. What is an alligator's stats?
Regular gator. Dude, I don't know. I will pull it up though. See if I can find it.
Well, it wouldn't
If,
matter.
if you're looking at D&D Beyond, there are no alligators. They're all
Right,
crocodiles.
I think they only have giant crocodile, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure.
So this guard, who is kind of like this big beefy guy, sort of sets his hand out and attempts to like slowly put it towards Kev. And
A
then-
regular crocodile is a quarter CR. What stat are you looking for, Equa?
What is the damage roll on bite?
It is a D10 plus 2.
Cool. Yeah, he goes ahead and reaches out his hand, and Kev just snaps at him directly, kind of like latching it onto the outside of the sort of forearm and taking kind of like these thick indentations out of and ridges out of the side of it, to the point where you start to see a little bit of bone protruding as he sort of pulls back. He's not looking very happy with you, Wade.
Oh, shit. Alright, we're gonna need medic stat for him. See you guys later. I'm just gonna really quickly hustle out of there.
Lincoln's gonna stay behind and just pop the guy with the cure wounds because he feels bad for
He
dumbass party member.
he thanks you, but he's looking pissed off. Pissed off.
That's
yeah, you guys are
fine.
allowed to go in. That's fine.
He heals 9 HP.
Delphine, as they're walking in, turns to Zeravel. That would not have been a good betrothal. She says in Sylvan.
I don't even think that warrants a response. Yeah, you just go in. Just go in at that point. Sure. So, Free went ahead, and you see that kind of like half-elf guy sitting behind the table and sort of like smiles as you come in. Seeing Wade talk to the guards behind you and just sort of nods and grabs Asmin. And Asmin starts walking out from from her lab, which curiously enough is not the one that you first met her in. It's a different lab. She's a little higher up in the building now. So it takes a little bit of time for her to get down here as Wade, you enter and you meet up with Free and the rest of the group.
What? Why is there blood on his face?
Kev's been a bad boy.
He bit a guard.
Wait.
Yeah, that hindsight. He was so passive when I picked him up earlier, I thought it would be fine.
He's literally a wild animal right now, Wade.
Yeah, I guess.
Is he still under the effect of the Shadowfells acting like a morose teenager?
Yeah, you're kind of like, I want to do
Oh,
this.
stupid. You're all stupid. Over somewhere else.
So,
Well, as much as having a conversation down here would probably be interesting, I feel like we should get in contact with Madeline as well and get into one of those scribe-proof rooms before we do too much else.
I was hoping Asmin could lead us to one when she got down here. So I
That's
asked
you.
her.
Fine.
As you
Same.
mention the name, you start to see the familiar big, poofy, brown-black hair of Asmin appear over the railing above you, and she sort of looks down and says, "What the hell is this?" She points down towards Wade and Kev.
we should probably talk in private about this.
Wade, I don't think you can bring an alligator in here. How'd you get past the
But
guards?
what about my monkey?
Monkey's different. Monkey won't attack people.
Asmin, we need to get into a scribe-proof room because we're being hunted by the Scorched Right.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
Why
I'll
didn't
see
they
what I
lead
can
with
do.
that?
She sort of like thinks for a moment, starts doing some calculations in her head, and then starts walking down the stairs. And you see she takes you off to a side chamber, which opens up to another set of stairs and goes downwards. You descend towards the basement floors, and you go, getting weird looks and strange, glances from people as you go. And eventually, she leads you down to sort of this larger corridor that leads off into 6 different rooms. And she sort of looks in the first one on the right and peers in, shakes her head and goes to the next one and opens it up and leads you in. It is this jet black room, barely lit, with this kind of heavy lab equipment on the outside and big table in the middle. And she just sort of like ushers you in and then closes the door behind.
Thank you.
I'm not supposed to be in here. This is going to be occupied in probably a couple hours, so we're going to have to probably talk to someone about that.
Yeah, we were gonna try and get a hold of Madeline as well.
Okay. So what's the deal?
Well, do you want to start with the good news, or the bad news, or the worst news?
Let's go with worse, so I have something to look forward to.
Okay. Somebody take that one over for me. That's the one with the rat and stuff.
Scorched right. All right. Okay. Back up. We went to meet Councilman Duel. We ended up in a tomb that was from the Air Watcher. Got into a couple fights. Beholder nonsense. Thyra got petrified. His friend, the Bard, betrayed us. We ended up in front of the Scorched King himself, Kymel, who is smaller than Xandru, who was about 100 some feet tall, but 40-foot elemental titan type thing. Terrifying. Thyra's father sent us to the Feywild, but took her since she was petrified.
Yeah, we also fought a beholder in.
Yeah, I mentioned the beholder for a second. Ended up in the Feywild where we met Delphine here, and she helped us get to where we needed to be there. And then she points back to Wade.
Okay, so that explains why Thyra's not here. Delphine, nice to meet you. She sort of holds out her hand.
Delphine will take it. He's nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm Asmin. And she holds out her hand to Ziravel. I'm Asmin, nice to meet you. And she's sort of like, charmed. Ziravel. Okay, cool. How did you manage to tag along with the group?
That's my mom.
Oh my god. Hi. Oh my god. Wait, hi. Well, and she's like, it's not important right now. It's fine. And she's like, no, I think it's pretty important. Welcome. So, I see now where he gets his good looks from. Help me.
I'm gonna pat Wade on the back a little too hard and just be like, next time lead with that. When they're just saying.
Yeah, I'll do that. So, that leaves the good news and the bad news. So, they kind of go hand in hand. The good news is we did revive Kev. Hey, that's
You
good.
see her eyes kind of like light up for a second, and the big grin comes over her face. Oh, great! Where is he?
Yeah. That's the bad news. You see, he is and he kind of holds his hands out and holds the gator to her. He's now a gator, which it could be worse. He could be a crocodile.
So Wade, make a deception check
If
with
he rolls
advantage.
her eyes at this.
You get advantage on this because you are literally holding out an alligator.
7.
Please roll two
Hold on,
natural
with,
ones.
and a 1. So a 6. Well, sorry, advantage would be 7.
How is it that I can roll a 9 and still fucking beat you when you have advantage on shit?
That's,
You're a charismatic character, Wade.
I
Can't
couldn't
lie to
tell
Asmin.
Can't let
Yeah.
Asma.
She, kind of looks at you and looks down at the alligator, who's kind of just mouth open, just staring at her from down.
Blinks one eye at a time.
Wait, you know I'm a wizard, right?
Right. Which is why we came to you to fix this.
Right, so I know what a
Cryptic gun.
polymorph spell is, and she waves her hand and she casts Dispel Magic on Alligator Kev. Polymorph is 4th level spell. It's fine. As Kev just back into a halfling. And whereas you kind of realize what would probably have been quite a heartfelt reunion, now she's sort of standing there, hands on her hips, tapping her foot, and Kev's kind of like,
I like her.
I thought that this would go different. I thought that you might miss what we were trying to do. And she's like, uh-huh.
We will push Kev into Asmon.
Yeah, he kind of like gingerly is like, hey, and sort of walks up to give her a hug. And she's still kind of standing there, and she opens her arms, and he like sort of walks in and grabs her, and she pulls her hands around and like squeezes him really hard to the point where you see his face kind of turn a little white for a second, and he kind of struggles for breath. And he's like, "Wait, help me, Wade! She's hurting me."
Just accept the love, Kev.
She really
Asmon
missed you.
sort of like looks back to you, Wade, and then kind of gives you a glare and looks back to Kevin and releases him. You're both idiots. Like, truly idiots. That was really going to be like a special moment and you ruined it, so I hope you're happy with yourself. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry.
That's fair. It was Kev's idea. So,
no, it was not.
He can defend himself now, Wade.
He sort of like
Man in your
straightens
brain.
herself up and regains her composure. We'll have a big event tonight, a celebration, and we'll talk more then, Kev. So, any other news I should know about?
Well, yes. On the note of a big celebration, we're gonna have to try and find a way to do that in one of the scribe-proof rooms here until we can get a little bit more of a permanent situation going on. Because, as Free mentioned, we are being pursued by the Scorched Right, who we believe are tracking that, as he points to Izzy's armor. And
Okay.
they're none too happy that we have it.
Why don't you take it off then? Stash it somewhere.
Because I can move the Veritas itself and things like that.
The Raven Queen told us that it belongs to her. Just as, and she points to the staff on her back, belongs to Thyra.
Okay, so why don't you just take it off for now and then put it somewhere and you can still own it? It's fine.
Fuck, I can't add to this conversation because I'm a fucking asshole.
Also, we're not 100% sure if that's what they're tracking. Considering they know us, they could scry on us just as well, just as easily.
There's also that.
Okay. Right, so you need a scrap-proof room for a while, and then what? Where are you going to go after that? You
I
can't
can
stay in a room
create
forever.
one.
Okay. And then what? What are you guys doing next?
The plan is to, I think, possibly try and just go into the cakery and...
Is that our plan? What about Thyra?
I was
Or the
getting
fact
there.
the Scorched Right are on our tails?
Getting there. That's the longest term plan. That's the end goal of a whole bunch of steps. First off, we need to try and find Thyra and get her back to normal, and get her back to where she's not being held whatever she is against her will. We also need to figure out a way to kill a god. Partial god? Part god? Demigod? I don't know. Still a god regardless. If nothing else, just a very, very pissed off, very, very powerful elemental in the flame of elemental plane of fire would be our guess. Yeah, that's about it. Other than try and find the magic weapons that the Raven Queen said could help us. That probably each one of the Titans had, and there would probably be one for each of us, given that Izzy has one, Thyra has one, Kev has one, So there's probably one for the other three of us.
The mention of Kev having an item, she kind of like shoots a quick like look over to him and sort of maintains eye contact. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
We need to go back to the Feywilds, where we belong.
Maybe do that slow.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you what. I will let me take Kev for a while because clearly there is some catching up that we need to do. You guys are going back to the Feywild, and then after that you want to go to the Cakery. Is that right? Or are you going after Thara? Where did you say you left Thara?
Her father
Yeah.
kept her because she got petrified. He's been working with the Scorch Rite.
My father.
Oh, yeah. They're
Shut
half
the
siblings.
fuck up, Wade. What do you mean?
Yeah. So it's funny. They say bad things happen in threes, and I'm just wondering who the next one of my friends and family to disappear is going to be.
Guy just like sits there for a second and stares.
That's
I'll say,
tragic.
for the purposes of this, do you guys want to just tell her everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take a moment to tell her everything, and you watch as her face regresses more and more into a horrified state. And by the end of it, she's looking concerned. It's kind of like it's an older sister glare. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where she's like, "What the hell have you gotten yourselves into? And how can I fix this?"
Yeah. I'm typically the older sister in the situation. This is weird.
Yeah. And at the end of it, she basically turns around and says, "Okay, this is what we'll do. I will formulate a plan with Miss Moon and Mr. Adden about seeing if we can do something about Scorched King and a Thoradin and Lady Caffeine. I thought I heard of her somewhere before."
Speaking of which, and I'm going to send a message to Duel and just say, hey, we're back. How is the city doing? Got pursued to the Feywild. Wanted to check in with you. Send.
Okay. The reply comes back to you, even in this room. I don't know, is scrying divination?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, scrying, not scrying. Fucking sending. Sending is divination? Or is
No,
evocation?
it is it's evocation.
Okay. Got you. So yeah, the spell does go out, and you hear the response come back in Duel's familiar gruff voice and says, "I've been locked out. The city belongs to them. Retreating."
Okay, so that's more news to fill in. Yeah, they have control of the city, and Duel is on the run.
Authority, the monarch. Kaifine is one of his council women.
Okay.
And a bard who plays a lyre. Or a harp. They're very different. Harp.
But Lyre's funnier because she was a liar.
Yeah. Plays a liar.
This is a lot, you guys.
That's a lot
Izeri
for
is
like.
Kaimel's home. It makes sense they would take it.
Right, and you said that you're going to the cakery, which is in Uemura. Does that worry you at all?
I don't know why. I don't know why that's even on the board right now. There's more important things.
I didn't say that it had to be done now. I was just listing all of the objectives that we had named off as we were sitting around talking in the Shadowfell for I'm guessing a day. We have no idea of knowing.
I think that is your guys' problem. You list all of your objectives and don't really talk about what you're actually doing next.
Hey, IRL, that's me.
That's what I'm trying to figure out here.
Here's what I can do. Clearly, if Dill's not in command anymore, this is a big threat. You said we're up against a couple of like demigods or gods or something.
The Xandru was titanic inside, like over 100 feet tall of ice, and
Right.
Kymel was smaller, but I feel like that might be because his orbs aren't all back.
Don't have one of them.
So we gotta tell the higher ups. I'll request a meeting with the two high archivists and we'll start getting the word out.
Because it affects anyone along their borders.
At the same time, see if you can do anything with the. I always forget the frickin' name of the book cult. It's all I can remember him as.
Just call them the Order. It's fine.
Okay, the order.
The convex order. I actually have it written down as the conflict order in my early notes.
Ooh.
Yeah, she says, right, well, if it's as big of a deal as you say it is, it affects more than just the borders. This will affect the whole continent.
Yeah.
I will let as many people know as I can. At least we got connections in high places. And I guess we'll start thinking of a counterattack. You guys know what happened to any of these orbs or why they're important yet?
According to the legend, they're pieces of Kymel's power that the other Watchers took and sealed away. So he wouldn't be at full power. But they've gotten the one from Ernrick that we originally found. They got Yessex. They've gotten the one from the tribe. They have the one that was under the lake now. It's at least 4. Oh, and the one in the pit that was originally missing. They might have 5. We don't know how many there are.
Well, you said you suspected 6. Maybe your next bet is to find that one. If you can keep it away from him, surely he's not as bad.
Didn't we have a lead on where we thought the 6th one might be?
No.
Nope, don't think so.
Okay.
Uamara is ice, so I don't think up there would be where it was hidden, because that would be Xandru's territory.
Fair.
Right, but the lake that you found the last one in, that was on the border of Gasari anyway.
Yeah.
And the
I
pit,
don't think...
the pit's in Gasari too. So, do you know anyone who would know?
There's a bard who has stories, but he can't talk in less than 25 words. Could try legend lore specifically for Kymel's orbs, but I don't know if it would give us locations. Just the story behind it.
At this point, you hear Ziravel speak up, and she says, I hate to interrupt, and I'm sure this is not going to be a favorable option for you. Why don't you ask Tharden?
We've tried.
Well, clearly...
He wanted us uninvolved.
Yes, but I'm afraid you may have a bargaining chip. And she looks over to Wade.
I was trying to avoid that. That's why I asked you all those questions yesterday.
I understand.
She's giving everyone the mean eye because she's trying to take a nap and everyone's talking.
I haven't talked to him in close to 30 years now, but it was never my intonation that he would ever harm one of his own. Perhaps if you are all there, you can help keep him safe.
Do you think if I asked him for information, or to even bring Thyra to tell him about Thavian, that he would come? In exchange of information and our friend back?
I couldn't tell you. It's been a long time and people do change, but it would seem to me like you don't have any other leads. Not at this time.
Wade?
I'm willing to do whatever it takes. If we have to use me as bait, so be it.
All right, where do you want him to meet us then, if we can get him to come to us? Because I can probably message him and set this up really quickly if we have a plan.
Oh, that brings up a good point. I'll look towards Zerovel. Are you wanting to see him too?
It's kind of like this long spat of her thinking. I don't think that would do any good for anyone.
Understand?
No. Does he have any weaknesses? You know, besides his children in that sense, but I mean like physical weaknesses. Like
Weaknesses?
if things went south and we had to defend ourselves from him.
He's a very powerful man. He went head to head with the High Queen of the whole Feywild by himself and barely lost. If there are weaknesses, I wouldn't know of them. He'd be very good at hiding. At this point, Asmund says, "Okay, I'm gonna go and start relaying this information. I'll find you guys a room today, and we'll set you up there."
Could you specifically let Madeline know that we made it here safely as well? Because we
Yeah.
thought we'd be here.
I will.
And ask her how many days it was since I messaged her, because that'll give us a timeline of how long we were in the Shadowfell.
Yeah, I'll bring her down.
Okay.
And Asmund goes to leave, leaving the rest of you all here to chat amongst yourselves. And at that point, we're going to go ahead and take our break, because we're a little bit late on this one. So we're back here in 10-15 minutes to continue the story. Don't go anywhere, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Welcome back, everyone. So we're going to jump back in with Thyra. So everyone else, Stefan, take off your headphones, Griz. They know what to do. So Thyra, you now have been sitting in this cage, essentially, for the better part of a day, just over. Nothing has changed around your surroundings. People come, people go, mostly clad in the same kind of reddish colored robes. A couple people come in and just sort of eye you strange. Some people come in and jeer a little bit and then leave. And as you are sitting like in one of the corners, you see a familiar figure come in. That being a very large, crimson-skinned man, clad in its brass and gold jewelry, walking in, and he's making a beeline straight for you. And there are bars in the way. He makes his way over to the side of the bars and he says, "So, orphan, to what do I give the pleasure of you being here?"
If I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't give it to you.
It was going to be of great enjoyment to me to see you with the rest of your friends dying on our front porch, but it would appear that your stone skin has saved you. Do you know what happened to the rest of them?
Do you want me to tell you what happened, what they've been doing since I've been sitting in here?
I want you to tell me if you were aware of their whereabouts when you were revived.
How would I know that? They can barely string 2 sentences together.
Just a thought, eh? You know, I wanted to come in and apologize to you for having to make you see me kill your mother.
You
Yeah.
seem very apologetic about that.
Yeah, well, no, it was a quite big enjoyment to me to do it. I just didn't want you to have to watch. Saying that makes it all the better for me to talk to you now. What was it like to see me end her?
Well, then I just wanted to kill you.
Sort
Now
of
I'm just hungry.
leans in a little closer, keeping a distance away from the bars.
When she says now she's just hungry, a blue tongue kind of flops out of her mouth a little bit.
Okay, great. Yeah, he sort of at the side of the tongue leans in a little closer and sort of clocks it, and you can see that red skin is kind of marked and weathered with a little bit of age, and that kind of like big purple handprint in the middle of the face that takes up most of it is kind of very, very prominent now that he's up close. He sort of looks over at you. It's a weird druid thing, then I take it.
I mean, no weirder than the purple on your face.
With the mention of it, he kind of like gives a little grimace.
How did you get that?
I'll be keeping an eye on you, orphan.
She kind of looks around. Where am I gonna go?
As he sort of begins to back out, you see another figure entering the room. Not coming towards you, but sort of going to the next cell over. This is an elven woman.
Just, I was told his name. What is his name?
His name is Zitaj.
Just remember, Zatosh, I am hungry.
As you see the elven woman come in, clad in blue, you recognize Lady Kaifine, except now she's looking a little frazzled and notably kind of like pissed off. As she walks in and says some commands to some people in the next cell's over and points at that cell, and people start walking in, unlocking the door, and dragging someone out. And you watch as they just go somewhere else.
Do
Before
I
she
recognize who they're dragging out?
make a perception check.
Hold on, let me bring up Cyrus' sheet. 23.
Yeah, you get a pretty good look at them. They appear to be dwarven male, like this big bushy beard. Nothing that you recognize. As she clocks you, she says, "Well," and she begins walking up to the bars. It's rather interesting, isn't it? I wasn't aware that you were turned back to flesh. Leave us. And you see Zitaj behind her say, "I don't take orders from you, missy." And she sort of like snaps around at him and turns.
Remember to
Leave.
let someone know I'm hungry.
And she sort of walks up close and kind of like whispers something to him. And he looks at you and kind of like snickers and then walks away.
How is she looking? You said she looks frazzled.
Looks a little frazzled. A little bloodied as well.
And how weak does she look?
Not particularly weak. She sort of walks up to the bars and looks over you. So, why don't you go ahead and tell me exactly what it is that Tharden has an interest in you for?
You know, I keep telling everybody, if you want somebody to talk, you should feed them.
Make a persuasion check.
I have another question. Have I
Yep.
figured out if my wild shapes or spells work? where I am?
If you've attempted to use them,
Yes.
then
she
you would
have.
realize they do not work.
Okay. I have not attempted the overtaken, though.
Okay.
You said persuasion?
Yes, sir.
11.
11. Sort of walks backwards and drags up a chair and pulls it around the same chair that Thadam was sitting on and sits kind of in a more, pristine and posher fashion. And she says, well, I can arrange something of this sort, but, well, I don't work for charity. He says that his interest in you alone is to interrogate you and your friends on the gifts that you are given, your involvement in this particular endeavor. But I'm not an idiot like the Esprit. Why don't you tell me, and I can arrange much more than just food?
Well, all he's been asking is about the involvement. As has your... She kind of looks behind where the Afridi went away, and the tongue comes out again. He was also pretty interested.
Yes, I'm
He
sure
says
he
kind of with
was.
a lisp because of the tongue.
Uh-huh. Right. Well, I assure you that you'll be rather disappointed to know that your friends have indeed perished under unfortunate circumstances. Apparently, they did not quite like being face to face with the Scorched King himself.
I'm gonna insight check.
Go
It's
for it.
worse than my passive. It's a 13. It's worse than
13?
my passive.
She's telling the truth. They're all dead. So I do want to let you know that you literally have nothing more to lose. You are devoid of family, of friends, and you are stuck here with me. And I will get the information out of you that I desire.
Her eyes start to swirl, but they don't start to like break off in ice like her full rage does now.
Yeah. I shall be back to continue our little chats. It was nice talking to you, matriarch.
Pretty sure you did most of the talking there.
I got more than you wanted. As she begins to leave the room. Is there anything that you want to do?
I would have probably tested the integrity of the bars in this day.
The bars, as you go ahead and try and pull back, and you are the strong individual of the group, they appear to be somewhat magically reinforced as well. You're in top security right now.
There's not much she can do. None of her spells work. She's just gonna growl. There's not much she can do. She's gonna growl and she's gonna rage and
So
pull on the bars.
You spend some time, or the rest of your day, doing that, and nothing more happens. And that's where we'll leave you. So everyone else can come back. Apart from Griz, because he's doing whatever he's doing.
Switching back to the other hat.
I accidentally clicked on user settings, and so I panicked.
Oh.
No!
Not what I wanted to do!
The rest of you are provided a moment to talk amongst yourselves, still staying in this room before, after about an hour's worth of time, you hear footsteps outside and the door opens and you see Madeline begin to walk through, flanked by Asmin. And she says, right, she told me everything. You're going to need a room for now. I will arrange for you to stay in a spare office up in the top of the tower. When are you leaving?
Well, that depends what happens with our next plan and where we're headed. We don't.
Also, how long it'll take to get us the required protections that we need.
Right, and what is it that you're looking for, protection-wise?
Scrying. They're
Something,
looking for scrying protection.
something that'll allow us to move freely without worrying about prying eyes.
Right, okay. So you're looking for an amulet of proof against detection and location. That's not easy to come by. Especially not for 8 of you?
Just 4.
Or 5 if we find Pyra.
Alright, still, that's a heavy ask, and it's going to take some time to prepare, and it's not cheap, and I can't reimburse you for this, I'm afraid, because
How
you're not
much?
on echelon work.
No, I can't. I'm a morose teenager in the corner.
How much would it be? Because as it so happens, we happen to have come into a lot of money recently.
It's an impressive item. You're probably looking at, with friend discount, probably looking at about 5,000 gold.
Total?
Yeah, for 5 amulets, I'll put them at 5,000. If you're renting, I'll have it. But it's like I say, it's going to take a little bit of time to get ready. So, if you're not in a secure place,
Yeah.
you're screwed.
Oh, Kev,
Yeah.
do you have those stones? One of them belongs to Madeline.
Oh. Yeah, and he pulls in around his bag and he pulls out 2 handfuls. One of them has a
Oh, God.
familiar black stone that was gifted to you guys by Kiva with a big hefty crack in it, and he opens the other hand and it is. I think this one was. It had limited durability, and I think we may have used it up. She kind of like. Yeah. Right. Great. It's fine. It's just a relic anyway.
Apologies.
How
Well, it
long?
got him back, didn't it? So worth it.
How long will it take you to acquire the items they need?
Potentially 2 weeks, maybe.
Well, we can't ask you to stay here for 2 weeks. So you guys need to get back to your home.
Oh, God.
By tomorrow morning at the latest.
Hi. Equa, do we know how much gold Izzy picked up? Did she actually ever sit down and count it?
I think I said 2,400. I think was the number I said. So in theory, you could afford it because you've all got your own share of money. But like I say, it's going to take a little bit of time to get those done.
Was that 2,400 total or 2,400 a piece?
2,400 total in the bag.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So you can afford it, but it'll take some time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to suggest it, aren't I?
And what would that suggestion be?
The succubus. She said they hid there because it was scribe-proof across planes.
And she was our meal ticket to get in there.
Right. Because she's the only one that knows that place.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying that it would have been easier to get in there. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just that it's going to take a little bit more effort than it would have before.
I don't want to go back there.
if you need to stay here, you can do so. But from what Miss Yavadi has been telling me, it looks like there's an encroaching threat coming at us pretty fast. I don't know
Aye.
how much time we can afford to lose.
I
What is it you guys want to do next? Not later, not 2 weeks from now, not 3 hours from now. What do you guys want to do immediately, right now?
I want to get my sister back.
I can message him. I just need a place of where we want to meet him because it'll probably take 2 messages.
You said that she knows
Outside
some place outside.
Rakovi, there's a spot, I think it was by a
Waterfall.
waterfall, an hour outside of town, westward, I believe. It would be outside of the town at least and not put anyone here in danger. But it would also tell him our location, and if he's more loyal to the Scorched Right than he is to his family, it could be a trap.
Well, what I can do, if that's the immediate next step, I can make a 100-foot area secure. No teleporting, no scrying can get in. So the person of interest would be
Garden.
you? She points to Wade.
And then, yeah.
He shakes his head, yeah.
Would stay inside the protection. Once he's in, he can't teleport out. Nobody can teleport in. Nobody can scry. It lasts for a day. I have other ways that I could protect him. I would just have to ask that either Zaravel gets sent home or stays here.
Right.
I think ultimately that would be up to her.
I would very much like to go home. I think that obviously certain things take precedent, but as soon as I can get home, the better. If you'd like to inquire, Hannon, about her weaponry that you are so graciously after, I think that would also be a prominent question.
Agree.
If
On
we
that note-
send her home, then she could also talk to him about it
I was going to
in
say,
perhaps her favor.
because I know you don't want to go back there, Free, but if we're going to, if we think we might pursue that course of action, which honestly might not be a terrible one, we're gonna need all of the help we can get. Especially if, it's not a matter of if, especially that those devils that run that are as powerful as she says they are.
Then we could message her after, but I want to focus on seeing if we can get Thyra back first.
That's perfectly fine. So, now that we have that laid out, do you want to keep her here for now? Give her towards, I can't remember the Zeravel. I'm going to keep her here for now. We go take care of trying to get Thyra back, and then see about going to the Feywild to line out those plans. Does that sound like a good course of action?
Ev says, I'll stay. I don't think I need to put myself out there right now, and I need to see Yasmin, and your mom will need someone she knows to stick around.
Thanks, bud. I trust nobody else. Well, nobody more than you, should I say.
Yeah, but do let me know how it goes, because I want to know.
How far away is this waterfall? An hour?
I believe so. This was like early campaign.
It was about an hour. That's like no, that's more. That'd be more than 10 miles, wouldn't it?
What do you mean?
I was gonna give Kev a lock of my hair, but it only works within 10 miles.
If you walk, I'll go by my standards. It takes me 15 minutes to walk a mile, so let's say 40 minutes to get out of the city. You're pushing it. You're pushing it real hard.
She's gonna do it anyway.
Okie dokie.
She's gonna chop off one of her braids. It regrows instantly. Don't make me regret this.
I thought you said it was a doll hair.
Well, yeah, you know, doll hairs are made of people hair.
Not all the time.
Often.
Sometimes they're made of
Sometimes.
horsehair.
Right. But it means she likes you.
Thanks. I'll cherish it forever.
She hands it over.
He pockets it.
If anything goes wrong, something feels off. This is gonna sound very weird, but just a drop of blood. But I can communicate and I can see what's going on.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be your blood. Saravel already knows the procedures.
Okay. Sort of reaches back in and puts it over and hands it over to Ziravel, who takes it.
But if anything goes wrong on our end, I'll be in contact.
Okay. So, you're all in agreement. Kevin and Ziravel will stay here, along with Madeline and Asmin.
Yeah.
The rest of you, I assume you're going to message.
Yes. Okay. Get his attention. All right.
Really quickly before you do that, Kim, I'm going to look to Madeline and just say, we had a brief stint in the Shadowfell, which I'm sure Aspen told you about. Izzy's not quite herself, as I'm sure you've noticed. Do you have any kind of magic that might help with that?
Not personally. What's wrong with her?
It's the magics. They mess with your mind.
How long does that last for?
Typically a day.
Give her a day. She'll be fine.
Fuck all, yeah.
All right.
Try and take a nap and you'll keep yapping about things. Don't matter. Fuck off.
So, Free, you begin to cast a spell. What do you say?
All right. So, message to Tharden. Okay, tension grabbing. Davian has grown to quite the young, handsome man. How about a trade of information? Bring Thara with you, and we can meet an hour outside Recrovy to the west near a waterfall. I think it ends right about there. If not, that's 2 messages.
Okay. We'll say it's 1. You send the message out, and you wait for a response to come back, and the tension is palpable. Like, this is probably the weirdest, kind of one of the most important messages you've ever sent out to anyone.
Mhm.
And it feels weird to even say the words. And you wait for the response almost until you would gather that there would be none, before it does come back, and it says, "How do you know that name?"
And that's it?
That's it.
Okay. I have all kinds of spells for this. No worries. Message 2. Zeravel enlightened us when we met in the Feywild. She helped us acquire what we needed, but Kaifin chased us out before much else could be shared. We know where he is.
I have him.
The response now comes almost instantly, and it says, "Bring them both with you. Meet you there in an hour."
He didn't confirm. Should I send him another message to confirm Thyra is coming? Or should I just assume he got it? Okay. She's going to look at Delphine and Zeravel and be like, he wants to see them both.
To hell.
Again, Delphine said she can make it safe.
I can also make it to where I can get both of you back into the Feywild if anything goes south. It's just easier to protect one person at a time than two, but it is possible.
Look, if we did this, don't worry about protecting me. Just protect my mom. I can protect myself. I'm a big boy.
We won't let anything happen to Wade. Not doing this again, not losing someone else.
As long as we all remain inside the sanctum, it should be safe enough. As long as people don't start attacking each other.
Well, he said in an hour, so we have to go now.
I want to look toward my mother and see how she feels about this plan.
She does not approve. And she says, "There's no way for him to tell that I'm even here. And he's not messaging back any more than this. Perhaps it's best if you were to just take Tavian. Perhaps say that I'm waiting somewhere."
I could disguise myself as her. I've known her long enough.
Yeah, I don't think you should go, especially if you're not comfortable with it. Yeah. My intention was not to get you mixed up in all this. I just wanted you to see Joe.
I understand, and I'm sure there will be plenty of time after everything is said and done. Perhaps now is simply not right.
I can pass that message along. That you weren't ready yet. It's fine. He'll have to accept it. It's your choice to meet him or not.
Okay. So, you're all gathering yourselves, and you just head out?
Reluctantly,
Shouldn't
but
we have
yes.
to? Should we send Zariel back?
No,
There
we're
we go.
leaving her with
We're leaving her
Kev
here
to stay
because
safe, aren't we?
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
leaving her
Sure.
in the echelon with Kev,
Right.
and you'll deal with that later.
Yep.
Okay,
Because
so-
I think we're considering going back to the Feywild once we get done with this. Possibly, maybe.
So,
Delphine will be sending her back to the Feywild in the morning regardless.
Mm-hmm.
as you begin to head out of the city and make your way towards the familiar waterfall, make conversation with yourself. I'll be right back.
So we have. Does anybody know a quick way to get there? Because it'll take me 10 minutes to set up the area.
Does anyone?
No.
Oh, fuck it. Oh, I'm gonna be down spell slots, but kind of need her help here. I'm gonna pop Izzy with a lesser restoration once Equa gets back. And so we'll figure it out.
I'll just assume that worked.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume the same.
Sure. have that big. Oh, thank God! I wanted to say so many things, but my brain wouldn't let me.
I don't know what
Ugh.
direction we're going to be of much help.
I could help a little bit with that. I could cast fly on you, and you'd be able to get there quicker if someone gives you directions.
I mean, I am smart, but I've never been to this. I've never even been to this plane before.
I've
Sure.
Just
been
breathing
there.
the air is a little rough.
Right? Insulting.
Well-
but
So there's two things. Well, actually, I guess. Oh, I'm just. Wait, can you cast polymorph and on yourself and somebody else,
I could do that.
or and then because we can fly a lot faster than we can walk.
It would give
true.
us time to prepare.
I
Mhm.
think that's true.
Yeah, I could do that. Absolutely. Let's see.
Oh, there we go. He's back.
How much shit did you
All right,
talk on me?
so Equa,
Yes.
I went ahead and said fuck it and popped Izzy with a lesser restoration.
Thank you so much.
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
Oh no.
That is cocked because shit's weird on D&D Beyond. Okay, that's a 19.
Who's fine. The effect just glazes off of her.
Okay.
So,
If we need leverage, do you think it would be best? I don't know. This is a far shot, and I have a feeling you might shut it down. But if I look slightly different, and maybe somebody like Izzy threatened to kill me or something, if it came to it.
I'll hold it next to your throat the entire time. if you
No.
No.
Any lies are just going to make it harder for him to agree to do anything with us.
Meant more like a, last resort. Like,
If
And
you-
then he'll attack us and save
is-
you.
Is Wade holding the hood? Wade wearing the hood?
yeah.
thing? I am going to take his poncho off of him and then pull the hood over his face so it's hard to see who he is.
I mean, you
Now-
were a baby the last. Were you a baby? Were you even born yet the
It's-
last time he saw you?
It's not that
You
I
could
think
be
he'll
anyone.
recognize me as Fabian. It's more he's seen my face as Wade. So
Right.
you would know. But it's no big deal. I think I should keep on my poncho, please. Thank you.
I gave the poncho back. Obviously. The moment I
You
took
put
it
the
off and I
poncho on
handed
top.
it to him.
I don't think this is if this is a person who went up against the High Queen, and as Zaravel said, very nearly lost, he's gonna see through almost any lie.
Sure.
Exactly right.
And you would last about as long as he could do that.
Mhm.
So are we flying?
I think that's the plan.
Who wants to be designated flyer with me?
I've had an experience flying before.
Who knows where this place is?
I know where it is, so I am not going to be.
Yeah,
A
she's
bird.
going to guide probably Wade. Bird Wade. I'll be the
I've-
bird with you.
I've been polymorphed before.
I'm just gonna hit Izzy with it, and then myself, giant eagle.
okay, so easy enough to do. You guys polymorph, and then you can carry the rest of your party over to the place following free direction. I won't make you roll for it. It's easy enough to do. You land there. Giant eagles have a fly speed of 80 feet, which puts you over double your movement speed. Nearly
Over
triple. I'll
double.
say, yeah. I'll say you get there. It's not too long. You probably get there in like 25 minutes from leaving the echelon.
Perfect.
Good shit.
When
You
they
arrive.
land, she's like, okay, can you turn yourself back to normal this time?
Giant eagles are smart enough that I would be able to do that.
Perfect.
Is
So-
this the first time Izzy's been polymorphed?
I think so.
I think so. Oh, I wonder how Chaos feels about that. Anyways.
I'm going to... I don't know if it's worth it. I'll wait. I'm not going to do it. Yep.
So you arrive next to this gentle but kind of loud enough waterfall, surrounded by this kind of thicket of forest. It's nice. It's nice enough. It's closed and secluded, but it's familiar to you, at least free, even if you have been here once. Anything that you guys are doing in preparation?
I am setting up private sanctum. Not like around the waterfall, so like half of it will be like in the waterfall, so that there's that barrier from whatever could be on the other side.
Yeah.
And it's 100-foot sphere. So
Sure.
that takes 10 minutes. So I'm dancing around with my spellbook open and my sword waving, very reminiscent of Scarlet Witch at the end of WandaVision with the Darkhold.
I think you begin to
haven't
set up
seen
your magically secure area. Anyone else doing anything?
I'm gonna go jump through some trees and scout out the area and just look for anything out of the ordinary or any like predators that seem like they might be around or anything like that. Just keeping an eye out.
Make a nature check.
I can do that. I can find the button. There it is. That's a 14.
Nothing that you can see.
Free is just pacing nervously around Wade. She doesn't like this.
It's okay. I'll be all right.
I know. But how many times have we all said we'll keep each other safe and then something goes wrong?
But we always get back to each other, right?
Well, hopefully that's true and we get Thyra back.
Delphine finishes casting the secure area, and you begin to wait. As the hour after your...
I will, like, just before the hour is up and just before the time limit is up and you arrive, I'm going to put my hand on Wade's shoulder and cast Shield of Faith. So
Okay.
you put +2 to your AC.
Sweet.
And
for 10 minutes.
I am going to, in the last 10 minutes, I'm going to ritually cast Detect Magic for whatever he shows up. That way I've got it up for that.
Yeah, so you wait, and the hour after your message begins to run out. And there's no sign of him at the moment. And the time begins to tick on. 5 minutes after. 10 minutes after.
That's a waste of a spell slot.
15 minutes after. 20 minutes after.
Could someone go out and wait for him? He can't detect any of us in here.
I will step out. Nope, I won't.
I will.
Free's the one that was talking to him. She'll go out.
Maybe someone he can detect as Fae as well should go out. He might believe that his son is here more.
Wade'll take a breath and he'll step out.
No, you stay in, and Delphine
stay
pushes
right there.
him back in.
He might need proof that his son
Then
is
he
here
needs to
before he
come
shows up.
in here.
Please stay, Wade.
Fine.
Whole thing was set up to keep you safe. And to keep the others from harm.
If he wants to see you, he has to come in.
Free will go out and she will call out his name.
Okay.
And Delphine goes with her, so that if he's trying to detect Fae, he will get that detection.
The thing. You both step out, and now you two are beginning to wait.
I'm outside
Um,
as well. I walked out with him too. I don't know if I said that or not.
As you call out the name, you hear it echo around the surrounding area, and a few birds begin to flutter away. There's no immediate response.
I will thaumaturgy and say his name.
Okay, you thaumaturgy, and every
there-
other animal in the surrounding area just dissipates.
Is there maybe more than one waterfall in the area?
Well, if he doesn't answer in the next couple of minutes, I'll send him a message and find out what his deal is.
I can also send them a message if you desire. If you want to save your spell slots for things.
We can't hear you. Sound can't go past my barrier.
I say that anyways, then they're like, oh, fuck, right, yeah, alright.
You can hear us, but we can't hear you on the inside.
Yeah.
Wade's like waving.
We can't see its full
Can't see
form.
Oh,
you
you
either.
can't see.
Nope.
I will go up, I'll poke my head through and say, if you wish for me to cast the spell instead, so you can save your spell slots, let me know. I'll poke my head back.
Tell
Poke
him
Izzy.
I'm waiting outside.
I'm sorry.
What'd you say? Chem?
Oh, I said tell him if you message him that I'm waiting outside.
Sure.
I'm poking Izzy before she casts the spell.
Yeah, aye.
Make sure to ask for proof of life, Thyra. We can't just have. You know what he's gonna say. He's gonna send a message back to you.
Well, he's
say,
supposed to be bringing Thyra.
I'll mention Tyra that she... Did you say he wanted to bring Thyra? You said that, right?
I said bring Thyra and we'll have an exchange of information.
Sure, excellent. I will message Tharden and say, we're waiting for you. Where are you?
You send the message out, and you get the response back, and it says, "I'm not fucking psychic. I don't know where you are."
You never tell him a space?
We told him exactly where we were going
You
to be. But
said
he
you said go to a waterfall outside of Rakrovi, but didn't specify where.
We said an
I
hour
said
outside
I
of
think
Yeah.
the West Gate, but I never got
You said-
confirmation.
You said an hour out, and you gave a general area. There are
Yeah.
multiple waterfalls here, and he's looking around. But after the thaumaturgy is sent out, like a minute later, you start to see his form appear through the thicket in the trees, hood up, still cloaked in that red. As he begins to just gingerly exit, kind of standing up straight. And acknowledging the three individuals who are sitting, just waiting there. But he doesn't walk any closer. He's about
I am not
30, 40
outgoing.
feet away from you.
I don't see Thyra.
I don't see anyone else either.
Because we're keeping them protected.
Kind of the
I could
point.
say the same thing about Thyra, couldn't I?
Do you want to come see?
Sort of looks past. There's basically just a dark block there, right?
Yeah, it's I think it says it's foggy. I don't think it's dark, but it's foggy and you can't see through it. Let me just double check. Fourth level, private sanctum. Yeah, it appears dark and foggy, preventing vision, including dark vision, through it. So if he has a devil's sight, he can see through it.
Sure. Yeah, he looks past you at the barrier that's sitting there, and begins to really focus in, and you can tell he's deducing what this is. All right, fine. Take it as a show of good faith that I am willing to come to you when it very well could be a trap.
If we wanted to kill you, we could have by now. Should know that.
No, you
Could we
couldn't.
not start with the threatening and sass right now?
Yeah,
We don't want to hurt anyone either.
I honestly don't think you could kill this man.
I like her. Don't suppose we're related as well, are we?
Fuck no. Kind
That's
of.
good.
A little bit.
Oh,
If your
fucking
son
hell.
had been born any other person, eventually.
As he begins walking forwards.
And she shakes
Um,
her head at that's never gonna happen.
He begins walking forwards, and sort of like he's keeping a wide berth from you guys. Now he's about 20 feet away, and he's waiting for you to walk in first, and he will follow you in.
All right. Free goes in and immediately just grabs onto Wade's hand. It's just like right beside him. She's not. Nope.
I kind of use my blade to make a little bit of a rune in the smoke of the fog that will allow him access into the sanctum.
Okay. You carve the rune as he sort of waits outside. He puts his hand up to the barrier, and as you finish carving it, the hand just sifts through a little bit. And he steps through. And before him, he sees Wade and Free holding hands, Isabel off to the side, Alakin and Delphine. And he instinctively, immediately, and Free, you get this, your insight's so fucking high. Probably Alakin, you too. The first thing he does is look around, clock each and every one of you, figure out your positions, and then look back towards Wade in his white robes with gold inlay and purple bits. And he sort of like, it kind of has this furrowed expression, and it sort of just releases. And the jaw becomes a little bit further open. And he's just staring. So, it's you?
In the flesh.
Where is
Wade has
Ziravel?
heard things.
She wasn't ready to see you after finding out about everything. But she told us to keep him safe.
Give it time. I'm sure you understand. It's been
She is
a
willing,
great
just
long
not
while.
right now.
Aye.
Sort of begins walking up to Wade, like slowly and carefully. Wade, do you have the hood up or down?
I have it up still, probably covering my face a little bit.
Okay. He begins walking up, and he sort of gets face to face with you, and you're a little taller than him. He's a little shorter. And he starts moving his hand up. And he picks up the top of your hood and begins pulling it back. You have your mother's eyes. Okay, and he turns around and begins walking backwards a little bit, hands above his head, sort of on the backside, and starts pacing. Fuck.
It's funny like that, isn't it?
Yeah, don't stop talking for a second. He continues walking backwards and forwards.
There seems to be something missing from this here equation.
We said the same.
Aye.
Yeah. He pulls out a small bead from his pouch on the side and holds it up. It's about that big. And you look inwards to it. He sort of holds it up to you guys. You look inwards and you see Thyra lying on the floor. Not too disheveled, but a little disheveled. In some dark, reddish-brown room. It's hard to make out, but she's there. You can see her.
Is that her in some sort of magical holding, or is that just a view of her somewhere else?
No, that's I'm sorry, I'm having a lot to process right now. She's
Sure.
fine. She's safe. And that's all you need to know. I said that I would keep her safe.
Good, so
Well,
That doesn't look safe. She's on the floor.
Yeah, trust me, it's safer than with you lot. Okay. Last
question:
time she
Have
was
you
with you, she
been
got
you've
petrified.
been feeding her, right?
Yeah.
Have you been feeding her brains, living creatures, or just food?
What the fuck is wrong with you? No.
Oh, so you're starving the thing inside her head you don't know about. That's an immediate risk to her safety. Good to know. We're like a.
look, I know you said we can't protect her and whatnot, but we have a place where we're going where we can't be scryed on. Across plains, it's safe. We
Oh, you
need her
have
help to take it back, though.
right, you have
And
a place that you're going. Okay.
and I know you may not care, but and she kind of pulls the staff out. This is for Thyra. The Raven Queen told us we're meant to do this, and we need her help.
You sort of pull the staff out and show it towards him, and as you do so, he like looks at it for about half a second and then turns. No, the fuck she isn't. No, that's not belonging to her. It
It
doesn't.
does.
He sort of turns back around and he's like going to the border. And he sort of like thinks you see him walk up to there and almost like back out completely of the thing before stopping himself and sort of crouching down and squatting and keeping his hands on the back of his legs, back of his neck.
Elakian's
Do you
gonna
think
tell.
it's a coincidence that two of your own blood are on the same quest? They meet, form the same group unknowingly. What are the odds of that?
To fight this very thing. Please,
Elakian's
we
gonna
need her back.
Elakian's gonna take a couple steps towards him, not like getting super close, but a little closer. Then gonna crouch down to kind of be on him and just tell him, Tharden, please look at me for just a second. I'm not gonna be an asshole, I promise.
Sort of maintains his position. He's having a minor panic attack right now.
Yeah,
And he's just focusing on his breathing.
yeah. Listen. I'd take a wager that just like me once upon a time, you're not much of a man of believing in fate. But I've come to realize over the past few months, with information that I've gleaned about myself and everyone here, that there is something that we are all born to do. And no matter how much anyone tries to stop you from doing that, there's nothing in the world that's going to be able to. Because you're destined to from birth. As much as you might want to protect your daughter and your son, there's not a damn thing you can do about it because fate finds a way. Believe me, I know from experience.
Well, let's discuss this fate a little farther. Wade, how did you meet your sister?
We were both kidnapped and forced into slavery, into this fighting pit where we were going to be auctioned off. But we escaped and decided to stick together.
And don't forget, that was also the pit of one of the missing orbs
Right.
that we all came over. We were tied to it since the start.
And your daughter is an adult. Look, taking her away to heal her, I understand that. So you're just gonna lock your child up like a prisoner.
At this point, that he sort of stands up and sort of like whips around to Wade and he says, "Why do you sound like that?"
It's a fake accent I just put on to throw off people.
Wade,
Well, then what's the real one?
Oi, what's the real one?
Wade, no lies.
Can I talk to my
Please.
father alone? Everyone?
That's fine. Just no lies. We need Thyra back too.
No, I understand. You need to trust me on that one.
I promise. And Free will leave the sanctum so that they can have actual privacy.
I'll go up.
Could you just take those things off of your back first? Before you leave? Just leave them on the ground, inside.
Talking to you, assume me or
I am talking to you with your armor. If you're gonna leave, armor stays in.
Cool.
You leave, armor stays in.
Great.
If you want to leave it with me, I'll hold on to it.
I'm gonna go over to Wade. I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder and says, I trust you. I'm not going to leave, but I'm gonna go behind the waterfall, because you said you include the waterfall, so I can't.
And
Free will hand him, Wade, the staff,
I can't.
and then she'll head out.
I can't protect what's outside, but if they can track the items, it's a little harder to track people and easier to track items.
So everyone leaves the area.
I am going to go to the. Yes, I'm going to be just outside.
I'm going to be in the waterfall, which was included in the circle. That it did say that, so I can't hear anything, because it takes me 10 minutes to take that armor off. I don't feel like fucking doing it and having them wait for me. So behind the waterfall, so I can't hear anything. I'll plug my ears.
Well, are you attempting to take the armor off, is he? Or are
No,
you
I'm
just
gonna
staying
go.
there?
I'm gonna go behind the waterfall. With a lot of noise. I'm gonna plug my ears, and I'm gonna actively not listen.
It is a 100-foot sphere, so you can theoretically get far enough away inside the circle to not hear their conversation.
Would the waterfall not get cut off from the sphere and thus not be a waterfall anymore?
No, it doesn't interact. It doesn't change what is actually around it.
Okay.
So everyone dissipates, and Wade, you are left with Tharden standing there.
Look, the accent's not important. You say you want to protect Thyra, your daughter. And I believe you. I do. But are you working with Kymel?
Yeah. It's the only way. That's why I told you not to get involved. I told you all specifically not to get involved because he is not able to be defeated. He will succeed. And if you're opposing him, you're going to die.
What makes you think that Thyra, who has opposed him, will be spared?
If she's not against him, not in any way, and I can stash her in a safe place, there is no way for him to be able to get at her. I'm not just a grunt.
You think he's inevitable, but you don't think he'll be able to discover Thyra? And again, you don't think that Thyra and all her stubbornness wouldn't continue day after day trying to find a way to break out of wherever you're stashing her?
She is. Every day. But it doesn't matter if he finds her. It doesn't matter. She's the matriarch of a goddamn tribe. It's significantly powerful. If anything, his main interest in her would be indoctrinating her into his side. He's not going to kill her. It wouldn't make any sense, especially not when I'm advising him. She's safe. For once in her life, she's safe. This is what's best for her. Honestly, you all should fucking come with me. At least then I can figure out a way to, I don't know, reintroduce you? Change his outlook?
What does Kymel want?
Kymel wants to rule. He's the physical embodiment of an element. What do you think fire feels? Anger, passion, all of it. It scolds him. He just wants power, and he'll get it one way or another. It's better to not oppose him if you know that he's going to win.
What does the world look like when he wins? You said yourself, what is fire? Passion, fury. You think a being like that is really going to forgive Thyra? Someone who's fought tooth and nail against him and will continue to do so? We're powerful. You're powerful. We've heard the story of you facing off against the whole Fey army by yourself. Together, your son, your daughter, my friends, you. We can turn this fight.
Sort of is very stuck in his ways about this, and you gather that whatever he thinks is really what he thinks right now. It's what he truly believes. Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Whew. Alright, weighty. 28. Oh, fuck you, Wade. 11. Disadvantage is an 11. Hold on 1 second, though. I do have a lot of class features now.
Yeah, you can do favor from the gods on this one.
Yes, if you fail, see 2d4. I will add 2d4. Let's do it. 8 max roll. So that's a, what is that, a 20? Oh, sorry, no, 19.
Oh, that's 19.
19, yeah.
Yeah, he's regained a state of control here. And he's now listening to you. And he continues onwards. What do you know of how he works?
He was confined to different orbs, locked away. I don't know too much, to be honest with you.
Okay, listen. The Watchers have been here since the dawn of the world. Kymel and Xandru were opposed by every other one of them. But they couldn't kill him because he's simply too strong. Saying that, these orbs that you're finding, they're locking away parts of his power, yeah? That's the secret, that they're parts of his power. One or two things is going to happen. Number one, he's going to break them all. He's going to get all of his power back, and he's going to lay waste to everything. Number two, he's not going to break him all, and you might have a chance at doing something to him. But if you try and kill him, and there's an orb left, there will still be that little bit of power that remains, and all it will do is continue to fester and grow. You said You thought he might be inevitable. He is. He will come. And he'll destroy everything. It doesn't matter how strong you are.
What's the staff do?
Watchers are part of divine prophecy. Yeah. They're fated to connect to specific people. Each staff has a remnant of a previous watcher. You were just in Elathra's tomb. Do you know what that means?
We are in the tomb of a watcher?
But the weapon remains. And if the weapon remains, then there is part of the watcher left.
Do you think these weapons of the watchers could help turn the tide?
You know, if you'd have asked me that 5 minutes ago, I would have adamantly told you no. Now I'm 80% telling you no. How many have you
Those
got?
odds. Weapons?
Yeah.
You know, I may be dumb, but I'm still not sure I can fully trust you and give you that information. That would be quite silly of me, because what's to stop you from taking the items once I tell you how many we have and then bringing them back to Camel? We're gonna need, you know, Thyra.
Make another persuasion check. Straight roll.
There it is, 28.
Here's the deal. You and me and her for a day. I'll keep you safe, and at the end of it, you'll be returned to your friends. And if you can convince me that there is a way for you to not get yourself killed at the very least, I'll consider it. But I will admit, I think that perhaps it is time that we had a chat.
How do I know you're not going to just lock me away?
I guess that's what families are for, right?
I want to insight him.
Make an insight check.
I just seen Vin Diesel saying, all you need is
Bam.
family.
That's a crit.
Same.
Family!
21 total. Nat 20.
What he's saying right now about his allegiance to the Scorched King, there is an allegiance there, and it's strong. And it's rooted partially in fear. I mean, you know this guy's extremely powerful based on, witness statements, essentially. And he's scared of the thing. He's having a long day, and he's just found out that his child is alive. At least right now, you don't sense that there are sinister motives.
Mm-hmm.
You gather that with the way that you're talking to him and the things that you're saying, if it were coming from anyone else, maybe not, but you sense a glimmer of something. Some kind of, for lack of a better word, hope.
Say I give you this day. and things look good. Does Thyra come back with me?
I'm not much of a believer in fate, but doesn't this look weird?
Does?
Awful strong coincidence.
There. I agree, but before I go, I need to talk to one of my friends.
All right,
Can
go ahead.
you
I'll wait outside.
send in the tiefling?
Sort of turns and begins to walk. And the rest of you see him, see like this kind of faint shadow get darker and darker and more defined on the outskirts of the barrier as it, and he comes through. And he looks to you, Free. You're up.
All right. And she will go inside, confused.
Hey, Free.
What's going on?
He's gonna grab your hands. I'm gonna get Thyra back.
I feel there's a catch to this.
I know you're not gonna believe him, but he says if I give him a day, he'll let me and Thyra go, and he'll may even work with us. And a powerful person like that, with all the intel he has, could really help.
I just said I didn't want to lose anyone else, Wade.
You're not gonna. I'm coming back with a +1.
I can't. I can't trust him.
I know. But I looked into his eyes, and despite not knowing my birth parents for a long time, I could tell that twinkle from a mile away. He has some love for his family still there.
Wade, using an excuse of blood family loving you is not going to work on me. My mother sold me away to devils. She was blood.
Right.
And he works with the Scorched Right.
I think we can turn him.
And if you don't come back, what then?
Not an option.
Fine. He gets one day, but then I'm coming for you, whether you like it or not.
I'd expect nothing less.
I don't like this. Fine.
He'll lightly kiss you on the cheek.
Come back.
I will.
All right. You know what? Keep the staff on you and make sure it gets into Thyra's hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy.
If I don't know if from here, what happens?
Well, he's waiting outside. You can
Yeah.
put
So he did
this
stay
through, or-
outside?
Yeah, he stayed outside.
Yeah.
So Delphine was standing next to Free. So when as like they're talking inside, if she kind of looks at whatever stone it was that he had. If whatever daughter, child you have tucked away wherever you have them tucked away is anything like, she turns and looks in the general direction where Izzy went off to, is like what she has, I would feed her whatever the fuck she wants before it kills you or her.
Yeah. She didn't tell me about such a thing.
I wonder why.
Brains, yeah. All right.
She doesn't seem the type to give up information easily. From what little I've heard, she's a stubborn, I would say little thing, but I hear she's quite big.
Yeah.
You're lucky.
He's just sort of like standing there, like kind of fidgeting a little bit, waiting for Wade to come out. Yeah.
Arden, I have a question for you.
Nothing personal, please.
It's not. Why?
Why what?
Why would you risk your life to save family and then deny the destiny that is put before them?
Just sort of looking down, and that's a personal question.
I'm bad at lying.
He's bad at a lot of things.
She's also not wrong.
And he just
But
refrains from talking anymore.
it's fine. I'm gonna still say what I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't want to hear it, because I said it in there already once. But fate is a thing. And whether you believe in the gods or higher powers or what kind of power they have, the Raven Queen specifically said that there is a weapon for each one of us, including your daughter. Which means some power somewhere believes that we have what it takes together to stop what the Scorched King is trying to do. I understand wanting to protect family. Every one of these people here is like family to me. They're the closest thing I've ever fucking had. I would lay down my life for any one of them at any point in time, were that be what was required. But I have a destiny, and I need to pursue that, as does everyone here.
You talk to him, and you finish. You hear him say, since your past perception is pretty good, you hear him say, sort of under his breath, just, "It's always a fucking cleric."
I do have a personal question that has nothing Well, I mean, who knows? It might have something to do with everything. Your daughter is the matriarch that guards the barrier. Coincidence or not?
In a way.
Care to elaborate?
Nope. And he looks forward towards the barrier. Wade, are you coming out?
Yeah, I think at this time our conversation would have wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
Free goes with him. She's not letting go quite yet.
Just sitting in a waterfall, wondering what the fuck's going on.
You went on your bubblegum?
I wish I had some. I wish. I fucking wish. Medieval times suck.
Yep.
The way you start walking out, and he looks at the two of you. Are you ready?
For
Look at the
what?
group.
Aye, what she said.
I'm gonna go get Thyra.
Alone. I don't think Zaravel will be very happy about that.
Well, what's she gonna do about it?
You'd be surprised what the Fae can do. Am I right? She kind of looks at Tharden.
Yeah. We'll be back tomorrow. And he puts his hand up and just twists it. And he says a couple of
24
arcane words.
hours.
And as he does so,
As I get
TikTok.
swooped away, Hat comes out of the portal or whatever thing he swoops us with.
mhm, he just turns his hand, and you, Wade, go.
Soon as he's gone, Free just collapses and she's crying. This is too much. She's done.
I'm gonna say Izzy's kind of been looking over, not trying to listen in, and when they leave, she's gonna come out and be like, "Oh shit, are they gone? What happened?"
She cannot answer you right now.
Oh
Well-
boy.
He took her.
Our
Him.
boy made a deal
He
with the
took him.
devil.
Right. I'm assuming we're okay with this as much as we can be. Kind of
Didn't
giving
really have a
difference.
choice.
If
Right.
I would have prepared counterspell, this wouldn't be an issue.
All right. I am going to message Tharden and say, Ida needs to consume psychic energy.
Okay. You send the message out, and you do not hear a response from him.
Hope you heard it.
But you, Wade, you apparate into a new place. It is this sort of gentle, light atmosphere of faint, like forest and mountain. It's slightly different from the place that you just were, where that was a little bit more jungle-like. This is more classical forest. Not the thickest of trees, and sort of on this kind of like decently worn path. As you feel your boots hit sort of like harder dirt, and you hear him put it down next to you. Follow me.
Yeah,
And
fine.
he begins walking through this like faint path for about 5-10 minutes, just not really saying much. And then eventually you come to this small clearing, and kind of like these stumps of trees, and there's like this bent over log that's kind of just sitting in the open grass. What once may have been a campfire, but is long extinguished, probably like months at the very least, to the point where some of the stones are beginning to cake over with moss and other bits of fungus and things like that. As he just points to one of the stones and says, "Have a seat. She's going to be really mad when she comes out.
You didn't have to tell me
So
that.
I'm gonna trust you like you've trusted me. And if she attacks me, try and help.
Yeah, I can do that.
So Thyra,
Mm-hmm.
it's been days since your encounter with Lady Kyphine. It's been about 4. And the time comes when you see Tharden popping in. Just briefly and briskly walks straight up to your cell and pulls out a small, like, opal clear bead. Please trust me on this.
I am hungry.
I don't know what that means.
The tongue sticks out again.
I'll figure out what I can do. And he holds the gem up and begins twisting it, and you feel your body shift. Your surroundings stay the same, but he just disappears. And the sort of barrier beyond the bars just goes. It's just blackness beyond it. And you're waiting in there for some time before you feel your form yet again shift outwards, and you end up ass on the ground in the middle of this faint clearing, and you see him standing above you, and you look around, and there is Wade, clad in this beautiful white robe, with gold inlay and purple trimmings, sitting on a tree stump.
She's really on the verge of raging right now. But seeing Wade, like the only person who she's never attacked in her blind rage, she almost barrels towards him. And he's seen all of her eye variations as her powers have progressed in her rage. And at this point they're just starting to crystallize as she runs up to Wade and pounces him. Not really to hurt, but definitely pins him to whatever that tree stump he's on. Mist comes out of her ears and her mouth. And he hasn't seen this yet, but this blue tongue just comes out. We're hungry.
Hey, hungry, I'm Wade.
Fuck you.
All right, we'll deal with that in a second. We've got some things to talk about. As he sort of looks over to the two of you, who are kind of just in this weird predator on prey meets situation. And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode. So we will be back here next Monday to see
Thyra eats her brother.
Yup.
what happens there.
I was hoping a joke would break through.
Thank you everyone so much for watching. Thanks
That
for coming
seems like
out.
more
Appreciate
Call
it.
than Thyra at this point.
Mm-hmm.
As always, check out Rhyme on Wednesday and Fandalpha on Sunday. And we'll be back here next week. So, let's keep making stories together. See you next Monday.
Wow.
Toodaloo.